Fucked her in the tits.
Good evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever in the world you may be, and welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 121 for the 31st of October, 2016. It's Hollow Mass. You can email the show at cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Uh, Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter is always a SwineBro666. I am your gatekeeper for the evening, Elliot Lindemood, and my co-ghoul host. Fuck you, I'm going to stop with this. My co-hosts are.
I am the Jim. I am an asshole.
And
Yes.
I'm Eric, and I'm always on the show for whatever reason. Happy Halloween to all those listeners out there, all you rotten little bloodsuckers.
Yes, well, it doesn't really. Yes, and here for Halloween, we're going to give you something really scary. An episode of Swine Brothers. Of course,
Yay.
of course, if you like, if you're like us, you celebrate the horror and evil culture every fucking day of the year.
Yes.
And Halloween's when all the posers come out.
Yep.
They must be murdered.
Everyone must be murdered.
Yes, but I do enjoy some of the horror books released around this time of year. And it's approaching the start of winter, which is black metal season, so that's
Yay.
always good. So, how are we going? We're not sorry for missing Friday. I was asleep and Jim was busy. What have we got in store for this fine day?
Why are black metal fans such elitist assholes?
Because it's black metal. This is I don't know why. I found this on Noisy because they were talking about the band Dragon Force having a band with racist lyrics. Basically, kind of shock value, mock offensive back in the 2000s, and this was one of the featured articles, or this is one of the related articles from 2014. But I thought it fit well into what we've been talking about recently. Fun.
We asked everyone from famous people to Yahoo Answers. This sounds like...
But you didn't ask me. Hey, I am without a doubt the biggest black metal fan on this show, considering Eric doesn't even know what black metal is, and Jim only has a passing familiarity with it.
Yeah, a few months ago I wandered into a bar in Brooklyn. It wasn't super crowded, and a friend and I wanted to grab a drink. He happened to be wearing a cruisin' shirt, and we struck up a conversation.
Christian, they're a Brazilian death metal band. By the way, Jim and Eric, see if someone joins the chat, if Chaz or whoever joins, say hi to them for me because I'm not paying attention to the who joins right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a Brazilian. They're a very good Brazilian death metal band.
Okay, Chrissy, I'll have to check him out then. Then we struck up a conversation about metal with two of the bartenders. They were also fans, and the trios started discussing a bunch of Swedish acts with unpronounceable names that they all loved. I sat quiet.
They're pronounceable if you're good enough.
Okay. I, Jonah Bayer, sat quietly and listened before chiming in that Death Haven were performing at St. Vitus in a couple of weeks, and this is what you are. I haven't even finished the first paragraph, and I already want to murder this bastard.
After reading this, I had to watch the hipster black metal with Dev Heaven getting booed off stage.
Yes, that is beautiful.
They are possibly the most shit band, right up there with Alcest and Wolves in the whatever room, throne room. I was gonna make a shit joke. The post-black metal American, actually Alcest is French, but that kind of black gaze, it's horrible.
The idiots were going to be performing at St. Vitus in a couple of weeks, but instead of being met with mutual appreciation, I received a glare usually reserved for admitting you killed someone's beloved pet. No, you received a glare of someone who committed multiple rapes of women that someone loved. They want you beyond tortured. They don't want you dead. They want you tortured to a state where you beg for death daily.
And then you don't get it.
Yes, because you're just going to be tortured some more.
Yeah, it's God. I mean, and this is from someone who doesn't even really like black metal. For Jim, as a black metal fan, they're shit.
No, me. I fucking love my metal when it's good. It was fucking Tremolo Pick Savage Garden. This is garbage.
I thought, okay, look, they can't be that bad. I'm sure most of it's about the hype. So I listened to it. I listened to, oh God, not the newest album, the album before that, Moonbather or Sunbather or whatever the fuck it's called. It was the album that it got really big from. And I listened to the whole thing. You know, I think part of me snapped that day. And we're going to be reviewing it whenever we get Swine Metal reviews back, which we will get back on. We've just been busy with shit. We will be reviewing that album. Just because.
Yeah, and the whole damn thing is fuck. I remember I listened to the whole damn thing before fucking when I was doing the Metal Gate thing. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, you did that before.
This is before I even really started listening to any black metal in any quantity beyond a track here and a track there. And I listened to the whole damn thing, and I'm like, this isn't metal in the slightest. They're trying to be, and failing miserably.
No, I was going to say, it's before you ever met me, which is funny. We both did something horrible before we met each other. Yeah, it is awful.
Both bartenders scoffed, crossed their arms, and went on to explain that Death Heaven did not fall under the black metal category in any way. Yes, they would.
Yes.
I would. It's fucking alt rock.
Yes, they are alt rock with some bastardized third-rate black metal in it that just makes me want to hate them even more.
You haven't read the manifesto. This guy hasn't read the manifesto. I have.
That's liturgy, but they're in the same camp.
I don't care.
That Death Heaven liturgy camp.
I consider them the same thing because they're so fucking self-righteous-y.
Although I haven't heard Death Heaven give an interview like Hunter Hendricks, but that's because I haven't heard any Death Heaven interviews. And God, that interview just made me want to kill someone.
Instead, they were hipster metal, as apparently evidenced by singer George Clark's hairstyle. No, they were mocking everything about his existence. The music speaks for itself. It is not.
Yes, it is hipsters appropriating metal. Like The Sword. If anyone's familiar with that stoner rock band, The Sword, that tries really hard to be Black Sabbath, but it has no passion because it's a bunch of hipsters playing Black Sabbath riffs. I mean, it's not obscene like Death Heaven because it's legitimately 70s style doom metal. It just has no passion in it. But Death Heaven's trying to blend shoegaze music, which is kind of your Dinosaur Jr., indie rock, alt rock, Savage Garden, with black metal. No. There are a lot of things you can do with black metal, atmospheres and ambience, but alt rock?
Oh, God. I didn't take it personally, as I was just trying to make small talk as I waited for my maker's mark.
You should take it personally.
But it still struck me as a little odd that these guys would be so offended by lumping a band with blast beats and screamed vocals into a subgenre happened to identify with.
So, wait, are we saying Killswitch Engage is death metal now? Is that what you're telling me? That Killswitch Engage is death metal because they have had blast beats and screamed vocals. Where is the murder button?
Yes.
But, yes, they have some black metal influence, but That doesn't make them black metal. Sorry. And if they are black metal, they're the worst kind.
Over the next few weeks, I've learned that a lot of black metal purists. Oh God, here we go again.
I'm not a purist. A purist wouldn't like any sort of... What the fuck? I mean, I like black metal, but I like experimentation. Mix black and death metal. Magic happens.
Yes, if done right. If done wrong, oh God.
Never heard black and death metal actually done wrong, weirdly enough.
I have not, but I've heard, God, the entire emphasis of this guy's opinion is based on something that tries to mix two elements that do not mix well.
Yes, I've also heard black metal mixed with hard rock.
I mean, come into a cup of water and then fucking mix it up real well and then force feed it to someone that doesn't like the taste of semen.
I mean, death metal mixed with hard rock, I've also heard. So yeah, there's two things. It's like chocolate spaghetti. Chocolate's really good. Spaghetti's really good. Do you want chocolate and spaghetti in the same bowl?
Not really, but I've eaten it before.
Of course. I was going to say, I think he has.
Yeah, and I can tell you from personal experience, no, it does not mix that well.
No. But
this is what acid does to you people.
Yes, do more of it.
Black metal purists share that opinion. And when Deaf Heaven got to town, I discussed the topic extensively with Clark, as well as the band's guitarist, Kerry McCoy, and drummer Daniel Tracy. People I don't give a shit. On my podcast, Going Off Track. A podcast which has just lost any sense of credibility since he actually likes Deaf Heaven.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you if you like it, but, I won't disown you, but I do disown you because you're trying to call it black metal.
Yeah, if you like it, fine, but I don't recommend that. That is not a plug for the podcast. Don't mistake that as a plug for the show.
Alongside guest host, I don't give a shit. As a kid who grew up in the 90s, Epitaph and Victory Records rosters, I completely understand the feeling of wanting to belong somewhere.
Epitaph and Victory Records, pop punk, emo, that sort of thing.
And we're talking about wanting to belong somewhere. God. So much loss of concept that there are parts of the quote-unquote metal community, and I use the term very loosely, that are openly attempting to reject every element of everything, including the social circles which they associate with. Because they want to get to the truth, and this kind of rejection is necessary.
I did want to belong somewhere, Jim. Actually, where I wanted to belong was my own thing. I wanted to create my own thing that I could belong into. I didn't want to belong to anyone else's little thing. I wanted to basically be my own. The guest was from a band called Russian Circles, by the way.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Right.
At any point, I'm just sitting here, and I remember I was having one of my attic parties, after I fucking got kicked out of college and all that shit, and I'm drinking with some people that I knew from high school. And they were all younger, me being the first that was 21. And one of them sat there and started telling me that I was his hero in high school. Why was I his hero? Everyone else tried to be different. They did things like adopt wild hairstyles, wear strange clothing styles, all this other shit. They tried, but they were all just more the same. Then here I was, someone who was completely different, according to his standards. I'd argue against that point these days, but that's getting off track. But the one thing that really differentiated me from them was I didn't sit there and try to cling to all these different things, attempting to be whatever it was to fit in. I carved out my own space to exist. and this is what impressed him the most.
Yep. By the way, oh god, I've just heard Rush in the Circles. Post-metal, which is kind of indie rock meets metal, instrumental tripe. It's awful.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not Savage Garden meets black metal. It's more indie rock meets like some metal flavor. It's called post metal, which is
Already making me want to vomit because they
yeah,
had to call it post.
the best part of Russian Circles is there's no lyrics because it's an instrumental band. That's probably the best part. I don't have to hear some horrible vocals, but yeah, that was a shit 20-second little sound clip I heard.
This type of elitism defined my teenage years in a way that's hard to objectively describe if you've never tripped and fallen on your face thanks to GNCOs.
Hang on a second.
That said, what I found so odd about the black metal version of this paradigm was the fact that the people who seemed to most embittered about the idea of their musical culture getting co-opted were grown adults with wives. He added the word presumably in the fucking text there to try to mock people, performing his own bit of elitism here.
And yes, I've fallen on my face several times.
I've had a fucking baseball bat taken to mine, your point, motherfucker.
Yes. And that's why you look so awesome.
Furthermore, following the Death Haven show, blogs like Brooklyn Vegan were flooded with comments like, doing for black metal what Fred Durst did for rap.
Or metal.
From user Shitbather.
Shitbather.
Boink would be pleased.
And so he's butthurt that they don't like a band he likes.
While shit talkers focus on aesthetics, quipping, Death Haven sucks, live recorded, whatever. Nice black gloves, by the way. So, I'm just trying to get inside this guy's head, and it's not working.
I get
because he's sitting there, like, just saying, "Oh, you're just making fun of their clothes, their fucking the way they look, and all this shit." No, they're taking it as you already know that the music itself sucks.
Yes. If you like to listen to Death Heaven, do it at your own risk.
Can't wait until that guy starts a project like Cold Wave in 2 years. Kill yourself. Good.
Make a change. Kill yourself.
Hello, Danamund.
Hey.
Hi.
If you haven't guessed, we are talking black metal elitism.
What happened to the other guy?
He got scared cause girl.
No, he leaves and then he's probably watching some Disney thing.
I was trying to catch him this time, but I wasn't able to get here in time.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
Admittedly, internet criticism is nothing new in comment sections, routinely mined the deepest levels of human ignorance and depravity regardless of the topic.
Or it could be trolling.
Or they could be making valid points, yet you just take it offensive.
I'm not even gonna just continue before my brain.
Still, for a culture that celebrates theatric elements like Corpse Paint, Fire, and King Diamond, black metal fans seem to take themselves pretty seriously.
That was part of the thing. That death metal is very, I'm not saying death metal doesn't take it to it, but you talk to a death metal guy in their, nice beer drinking, run of the mill guy, right? You talk to Cannibal Corpse, nice fellas. But that was the thing with the black metal scene was more extreme than death metal, and it fostered some very extreme people. I'm not saying the black metal scene is humorlessness. I think it's a very deadpan style of humor that people only I get. But yes, black metal does take itself very seriously because it's great. Deal with it. That was part of the thing why it was different from death metal, because it takes itself more seriously than death metal.
You probably also lost your shit when The Simpsons mislabeled Judas Priest as death metal.
No, I just laughed.
I just laughed because you know they're not going to get it.
Actually, they actually had, I guess, Bart writing on the chalkboard for the next episode. Judas Priest is not death metal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, South Park calling Slayer death metal, I can kind of forgive because it was Rain and Blood, so the similarities are there. But yeah, Judas Priest death metal, I just was like, really?
Oh, God. It's worth mentioning that I'm referring to primarily American metal fans who were born in the suburbs here. Not the guy who recently murdered the frontman of Surrender of Divinity in Thailand for not being a true Satanist. A true hero to all.
Ooh, really? That's pretty cool.
Yes, I think we covered that article. But I'll take it up again.
That's me. Okay? People are going to be watching this show and are going to go, wait, did he just say that's cool? Yes, the false must die.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, I'm friends with someone from Black Anvil, an act who routinely douse themselves in animal blood.
Watain does that too.
And good for you.
And of course, people get all butthurt about the pig heads and the animal blood. They're like, what, do they think we actually like sacrifice animals or whatever?
There's an act that X took me to see. The music fucking sucked. The only redeeming quality of the show is the guy crucified himself on stage, literally, with fucking real nails and shit.
Yep.
But the music fucking sucks. There's no way I'd ever see them again. And there's no fucking way I'd ever buy any of their albums.
Was it metal or was it?
It was try-hard kind of alt-rock bullshit.
Yeah. But it's funny. I was talking to the guy who does the whole dousing himself in blood thing, and he goes, I get some very interesting questions when I go to the butcher shop and ask for like a gallon of cow blood.
Yes.
Can I have a gallon of cow blood and some pig skulls, please?
However, when I broached this topic, he replied, I don't give a shit what elitists think. Well, that's what everyone should do. Just do your own fucking thing.
Yes, I mean, I didn't come to any conclusions about any of these bands because that's what Jim thinks. I couldn't give a shit what less what Jim thinks. I mean, I actively make fun of him for liking, sure, me, meet the real me. And Weird Al. And actually, granted, Jim's Weird Al is actually better than what he's doing now, which is election commentary.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Anyway.
But, so just, I didn't get to my point. You know, I didn't start liking things because of what Corey or what. That's the second time he's done that. What Corey or what Eric Keller said. You know, I listened to their points and I said, okay, you may have valid points, but I came to the conclusion just by listening to the music. And granted, they would introduce me to heavier shit, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I see how Korn's not really that heavy. But I come to my own conclusions here.
That said, Delaney is in the minority, and it seems like the culture perpetuates this attitude through their repeated condemning of any band with any sonic connection to the genre who receives outside acclaim, whether that's Death Haven or, say, Liturgy. Dun dun
Oh,
dun.
no. The Black Metal Manifesto.
See, you don't like my music because you're not appropriating it from the most cultured and highest of mentalities, which requires a doctorate and PhD in I don't give a shit this person needs stabbed in the face.
Danemon should be so thankful she wasn't around for that. The Black Metal Manifesto. Because I think someone would have died. I mean, granted, I'll be the first one to say if comments are bullshit. Like the hate around Miracure was, in my opinion, bullshit. And I said it. I said it was bullshit. And I said she doesn't deserve the hate. Now here's the bands.
These are two bands which are well deserving of all the hate they receive, especially Liturgy.
Yeah. Now for the people who were going after O'Malley in her band, I go, no, she's just generic, but she's listenable. Here's the bands who actually deserve their hate. Chapter 1.
I reserve all my comments on music at the moment because I know Elliot is very, very picky, and I know Jim doesn't like half the crap I listen to, and I have to listen to what I listen to. It's kind of required for what I do.
I don't tell me. Just say Jim shared some of the shit you shared.
I listen to a lot of pop music because it sparks emotional impact, and that's sort of important because I write shifty romances. That's what I do.
It's the same thing as me. I write very dark, gory, satanic things.
And I'm sure it affects your writing, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I listen to the horrid bubblegum pop shit.
See, I listen to good pop.
Well, I don't have an opinion that there is any good pop, so I mean...
Actually, well, it's kind of the more power pop type,
Had a friend want to listen to something called satanic bubblegum pop, but it kind of sounded like somebody took old school voodoo and turned it into music.
Wow, you started early.
Oh God, he's here. No, we didn't start early.
Hello, Jazz.
Oh yeah, you're the time difference. I forgot about that.
The clocks went back, so it would be.
But it didn't go back here.
Yeah, we don't have daylight savings time until like 2 weeks from now, do we?
Yeah, it didn't go back here. That's why I forgot. I thought about it Sunday, and then I forgot about it.
Oh yeah, actually, that's our clocks went back, so now it would actually be 1:45. Yeah. So well, that was one of the things I didn't. I didn't take that into account. Sorry, my bad.
Well, we didn't miss it. We were doing a metal article anyway.
Yes, it was very boring. You missed nothing.
While we're still doing it. Jim.
Since I couldn't find another expert who wanted to elaborate on this in my iPhone contacts, Joy.
Why am I not on your iPhone contacts then? Because I'll elaborate.
I decided to try the next best thing. Yahoo Answers.
Oh, God.
That's the next best thing to figure out what.
2 years ago, under a user named I Used to Break Windows, asked, why are metalhead purist elitists so stupid and irrelevant on YouTube and outside YouTube?
So is that Mason?
I believe so.
If you don't know who Mason is, you've missed the early episodes.
The voter's choice for best answer came from Irate Earwig, who explained, I think anyone who is that extreme in their views is ignorant to the extreme.
That's a lot of extremes there.
If you only like metal, then fine, but there's no reason to hate on others for being more open-minded when it comes to music. It's not so much about your taste in music, it's about trying to lump things into categories they do not fit.
And
round peg and square hole.
And it's not about hating on you. It's just about saying this band sucks, and I find your taste in music to be horrible. You might be Chaz. I find his taste in music reprehensible. He's a cool guy in Danamon. I find your taste in music reprehensible.
Oh, I know.
Cool. You're cool, but, crap taste.
To be fair, I will listen to pretty much any music out there except for country and some forms of rap, and especially country rap. Thank you, Jim, for that one, by the way.
Oh, God, I don't want to know. I'll listen to old school country, like, the fucking...
Yeah, folk country is great. Anything from before,
country.
1980 is fine.
Yeah. But pop country's a cancer.
It's not even country anymore.
No.
Well, Taylor Swift, when she first came out, tried claiming that she was country. I've always thought she was a bit of a country myself.
No,
honestly?
Yeah. Not just Taylor Swift, but the Alan Jackson, George Strait, Garth Brooks, Toby Keith.
I wouldn't be surprised to see alt country coming out soon or some bullshit like
alt
that.
Alt country is a real thing.
Oh, alt country, yeah, like alternative. Seriously, God, though, half of that shit doesn't sound like actual country. It sounds like something that should be a rock mixed with country, and it's stupid.
Alt country is a real thing.
But Taylor Swift is mostly pop music, from what I can tell.
I've also heard alt bluegrass.
Hey, I'm from Kentucky.
Whatever, and maybe old school.
I actually like some bluegrass, but God, just trying to think of alt bluegrass.
Yeah, some of it's fairly catchy, but yeah, the shit I heard is like trying to mix folk, bluegrass, and rock.
Man, it ain't country unless it's got an actual jug jar in it.
I don't like bluegrass. I prefer more sort of purplier grass. Well, at least a sort of purple haze.
My friend from New Zealand, Jazz, called you a proper palm.
Man, that's so colorist. It's not even funny. How dare you?
I'm just liking the New Zealand being racist there.
I just want to say the next sentence in this article, which is 100% lacking in introspection.
But then again, that's what I would expect from a typical subject.
This is from Noisy. Okay, what's the next sentence, Jim?
I hate all forms of purism and extremism. So stupid. Yet you've exhibited nothing but extremist ideas in your fucking reply.
Weren't they just talking about elitism earlier?
Yeah.
Or were you guys talking about that?
He's saying he hates all forms of purism.
Yeah, but purism is essentially the same as elitism. It's basically taking everything that isn't what you want to hear out.
And he hates all things of extremism. Well, isn't hate an extreme word?
Yeah.
So, by hating extremism, you become an extremist.
Yes. You get it in all genres of music and elsewhere in sports, etc. Just douchebags.
I mean, yes, I like experimentation in black metal. I like the Shining record Jim didn't like because he has no taste. And that's very...
Fuck you.
And that's
if you didn't branch out to listen to music that you didn't know if you would like or not, then how do you know what you like to begin with?
Exactly, but I like the Shining record, which has elements of black metal, rock, and folk, and other things like that. It's not straightforward black metal. But in my opinion, Jim will disagree because he has no taste, it does it well. Now, other bands who experiment don't do it well. I'm not an elitist because I don't like experimentation. That's bad.
I've seen very few people who actually like an entire album from any band whatsoever. You might pick one or two songs on the album you'll absolutely love. 2 or 3 songs you'll be like, yeah, those are good. And then the rest you'll be like, ah. And then one you will absolutely hate, usually.
See, that's
fucking Power Slave by Iron Maiden.
That's because you're too busy in the mainstream. Like me, I'm a discography person.
Hell, I usually don't even like the shit they put on the radio. I usually listen to something that's off of the radio, and then I'm wondering why didn't they put that on the radio? Because I want to hear that on the radio, but no, it's not.
Oh, I have a lot of bands albums that I at least like, if not love. I mean, I can't tell you a bad Slayer song. I can tell you the least amazing Slayer songs, but I couldn't tell you
the ones you aren't as fond of. Yes,
but I couldn't tell you a Slayer song that I listen to it and I go, yeah, that's bad. I can tell you, okay, this song's part of my least favorite, and I still love it.
Oh God, fucking like I was just saying, fucking. You want
Power
a good
Slave.
album? Power Slave, very good album, very nice. The entire thing just flows. Another good album, fucking Seasons in the Abyss. Just everything fucking flows at that. You also got my fucking favorites, fucking South of Heaven. You got fucking
Rain and Blood.
Rain and Blood.
Everything.
Yeah.
Jen got mad at me because I looked up a dubstep remix of that shit.
Oh God, I
didn't get mad. I had a
yes,
headache.
Yes, you did. Your result. Your reply was, ugh.
Yeah, I said because I had a migraine just envisioning it in my own head.
That's what my reply would be. I think it's great that you're letting your friends on this show, Jim.
Yes.
Fuck, man, I pick on Jim constantly. It's not even that. I pick on Jim all the time.
I know, it creates such a great dynamic. I love it.
Yeah, miss, I'm gonna fucking use the fucking Konami code as fucking pillow talk. God.
As you recall, I didn't even shut up that entire time, dude.
If I can get my girlfriend on the show, it'll just keep people sniping at each other.
I'll tell you this much right off the bat. If Jim wants me to shut up during sex, he needs to actually be fun at it.
I will take
But I do have to say, Missy, you do keep going back there, so what does that say about you?
Okay, Jimbo, continue with the article.
Well, this person is not only shockingly articulate for a website where people routinely go to ask strangers if it's okay to be attracted to your cousin, he or she made a pretty good point. No, they didn't.
In Kentucky, it is, I think.
Okay. I will admit, yes, I had a crush on my cousin.
Kentucky.
See, I never
did. Thousands and thousands of people, but only 20 last names.
I was born in Texas, but I was raised in Kentucky, and I did have a crush on my cousin when I was about 13 or so.
Born in Texas. Where in Texas?
San Antonio.
I have roots in Houston, very near roots.
But I was raised in Kentucky.
I never had a crush on my cousins because my cousins, I hated them.
Well, to be honest, I was really, really close with my cousins, and that's kind of a
it
good
sounds
thing.
it.
We were thanks, Chaz. We were really, really friendly with the family, and that was kind of a good thing at the time. But lately, I've gotten very.
Do you know what I find funny? It's Americans
poor
that does all the incest. Here in Europe, it's only the rich people.
I know, right?
Hang on a minute, Chaz. We read a story the other day about a Brit who was arrested for fucking a horse repeatedly.
Yeah, but it's still not its own cousin, is it?
How is that unique to Britain?
It's not. Just because it's so high and mighty. Yes, of course, because you're American.
I don't know if she's still around the area, but we used to have a local horse fucker who was videotaped doing the act.
Named Jim Thompson.
No, because I did not fuck a horse, A, and B, this was a woman. She wanted the man. She wanted the man.
However you want to genderize yourself, that's up to you, Jim. It's not for us to enforce pronouns upon you.
It was Jane Thompson before the sex change.
No, Jamelia Thompson. He identifies as a strong black woman.
Ultimately, Irate Earwig is right. There is a level of inherent elitism in every special interest group. What, people actually seeking stuff that's good instead of stuff that's shit?
These are probably the same people who yell at me for criticizing Danica Patrick running around in 30th place in NASCAR.
Elliot, stop pretending you were listening to what he was saying then. You were just trying to imagine him as a strong black woman like everybody else in this hangout.
What is wrong with us today?
Come on, admit it.
No.
Danneman's certainly trying to imagine it. Come on. Wasn't it the funniest thing you've ever seen?
Yes.
Notice Jim's not the only one. Jim's the only one not laughing.
I'm laughing.
Jim's a strong, independent black woman that don't need no man.
That's because if Jim laughs too hard, he'll probably explode like the Oogie Boogie Man from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, by the way, what number are we on? Has anyone been counting?
We haven't had a single cigarette yet.
Fuck me. Is he trying to spook us or something? Have you not been able to afford tobacco? Is that what it is, Jim?
No, this is actually my 4th cigarette since I've been on air. I just don't have the roller going.
Oh, you don't have the roll thing? Okay.
So
my mom broke it. My aunt's fixing it.
Okay. So we're at 4. Okay. I was wondering why it's so quiet.
I had to pre-roll them today. I got like 2 packs worth.
Cool. Anyway, please continue.
It's just maybe more pronounced and ingrained in something as fringe as black metal.
Like I said, the same people who criticize me for criticizing a failure like Danica Patrick because, oh my God, we need women in motorsport. Not, women that run good or well. We just need...
We don't need anybody in anything.
But that's the thing, though, is I like people who come up because... they like the sport, not Danica who just...
That's what I mean. We don't need anybody in anything. It shouldn't matter whether or not you're male or female. It just matter that you're fucking doing it.
Exactly, but that's the people who... If you don't know who Danica Patrick is, she's a
I know who she is.
Yeah,
I don't like her either.
Yeah, and actually a lot of my, favorite racing drivers, as Jim knows, are women because they're fucking great drivers, not because of what gender they are. But I criticize Danica Patrick for basically being a roadblock. Oh my God, you're a sexist. These are the same people who would call me an elitist in racing. And yeah, I guess I'm an elitist in racing because I don't want moron. I mean, at least Danica's not dangerous. Because there's people out there who are genuinely dangerous, but at least she's just slow. She's not... she's not going to, kill anyone.
Part of the point about feminism and being equalists and everything and having equal sexes doing everything is remembering that men are able to succeed and men are able to fail. Men are able to be useless and men are able to be useful. Women should do the same fucking thing and not bitch about it when they fucking don't do what they want to do.
Yep, and
or cry or go whore themselves out on TV. Yes, they're allowed to do that, but just do what men do and don't pussy out.
The same people who applaud Danica Patrick for finishing 35th haven't said a single word about Christina Nielsen winning the championship in sports cars. So, hypocrisy much?
No, I think the problem is they are doing what men did. What men did was they created an entire political ideology based around the disadvantaged being victims and the fucking people who were capable of making the most of things being the oppressors. It's called communism.
Which, as we know, as I know, people will ardently defend. Because I am fucking tired of debating communists.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm sure Jim remembers my democratic anarchist.
Oh, God.
That sounds like a euphemism.
God,
doesn't it? It's not. It really isn't.
It's like that sad, really. It's just as bad as whenever that one Brett dude called himself a royalist anarchist. It's like these two systems do not mesh at all. How?
Wait, when were you a communist?
At least he did it intelligently, but it still melts your brain.
Wait a minute. I have to hear that. When were you an anarcho-democrat?
This kid I knew was a democratic anarchist, or at least that's what he claimed. He was all for it.
How old was he?
Like 13, 14.
Okay, good.
And we tried to explain to him that that's not how anarchy works.
No. He'll learn. I was
understand that it was entirely like the Sons of Anarchy TV show, which I have not seen, but I know enough about politics to know that is not right.
Well, the Sons of Anarchy is about a bike gang. It's not about anarchy at all. It's about a fucking motorcycle.
Well, no, you see, this is the problem is that people don't understand these days that words often have more than one meaning, which is why when they open up a dictionary, which unfortunately they don't do enough of, they don't realise that the reason why you find different numbers in there is because the same word in English
can mean 4 or 5 different things.
It can be used in many different contexts. So, for instance, what we often find, there's the academic or what you could call jargonist term of anarchy, which is what exists when you're talking politics. And then there is the term anarchy that people use to mean a form of chaos. Now, when they say Sons of Anarchy, they're going for that idea of chaos and fear.
Yeah,
At the same time,
anarchy.
they have this entire voting system where everybody says, "Hey, we should do this," and other people say, "No, we shouldn't."
See, okay.
And then anarchy
my
in politics is not that there are no rules; it's that there is no ruler. It's an extreme form of libertarianism. And basically it says there would still be, to some degree, some sort of social contract, some base system of morality.
Meaning community looks after community.
See, my advice is to
and everybody would understand. People don't kill because somebody wrote down "Thou shalt not murder" or Article 17 of the Violence Misconduct Act.
Yeah.
The reason why people don't murder is it's an inherent part of human nature not to murder.
Actually, the reason I don't murder is because I'll go to jail for it. I'm just sad.
Mostly.
But my advice is to not try with people like that, because when you're 13, 14, you don't know what you're talking about. Let him live out. Let him live out his fantasies of being an anarcho, whatever the hell you said. Because I was like that too. I was a communist, and then I was an anarchist, and then I was a militant atheist, anti-theist. I went through all those phases, and each time I realized that I had no idea what the hell I was talking about. It was a slow and painful discovery, but I think I finally found who I truly am, because now I actually have something I know about.
Well,
but yeah,
as I can remember, the ending of this story, as far as this kid went, was he went from having a chaotic neutral group of biker gang guys to being part of a lawful evil Greco-Roman society.
This guy just sounds like a prat.
We're talking about D&D.
Yeah, well, that's a D&D equivalent. It's something else entirely, but it was a role-playing group, and he basically assumed that he could be a democratic anarchist throughout it, and we were like, no, dude, no.
See, I just go for the fucking...
Well, I mean, the problem is, to have some sort of democratic anarchy, you'd kind of have to centralize some sort of authority to which is going to ratify the democratic opinion. So I don't see how this thing's going to work at all.
As far as that kid goes, if he'd have not been such a dickhead to begin with, I think he would have pulled it off a little bit better.
All right, now I have a headache.
It wouldn't work in any way.
Well, people would have been nicer to him anyway.
Like Monty Python did one of the greatest bits of comedy in one of the funniest bits of Monty Python ever, and it's the constitutional peasant scene, the Dennis scene from The Holy Grail. And for those that haven't seen it, just go and watch it on YouTube.
Everyone's seen it. Come on.
Well, not everyone, unfortunately. It's not mandatory watching like it should be. But basically, the king, right, bumps into this guy called Dennis, who is a constitutional peasant. Now, what this means is he's part of an anarcho-simulist commune, right? So there is no authority. There is no sort of sanctioned authority. What you have is just a ginormous bureaucracy where each person takes it in turn to be a kind of executive officer for the week, but every decision made by that executive officer has to be ratified at a bi-weekly meeting.
Yeah, Jim, please continue. I have a fucking headache, and I'm going to shoot myself now, because
I gave up on that.
Too much politics right now.
Yes, and I gave up on that article because we know where it's going.
I was enjoying that.
I wasn't. It just started. It just started to get more headachy, and the politics came in, and I was thinking, which headache do I prefer more?
I prefer the article. I think Chaz gets frustrated with me because I just kind of tune out when it comes to politics sometimes.
Well, maybe you ought to just stop talking about all the metal stuff and leave that for your review show.
Well, maybe if Jim would ever do a review show.
Oh, what are you going to say now, Jim? He's laid some shade all on your fucking turf.
Jim, should I come beat you with a dog whip?
Yes, but that's aside from the point.
Maybe if Jim would actually, like, tell me when we were going to do another metal review show, but, so shut up.
Gosh, Jim, stop being so flaky. Jeez.
And notice, Danimon, how I didn't actually yell at you. I yelled at Chaz. Because you brought up a point and he just kind of droned on for about 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you too, Elliot.
Anyways, let's move on to the next article, because
I love shitting on Chaz. It's fun.
I like shitting on
Oh,
everybody.
you're a fecal-philiac. Kinky.
Jim, hurry up
Anyways,
before I kill myself.
a woman was groped in virtual reality.
Slow down, Jim. Slow down.
A woman was groped in virtual reality, and here's how
Was she
men
now?
reacted.
Chaz,
Well, we're now
stop
going
interrupting.
on to how the men reacted. If you remember, whenever we went over this article before, woman said, like, disembodied head with disembodied arms was somehow groping her, and it felt like real rape.
Well, in the one article, she said you actually have been subject to a sexual assault on a subway.
So that's probably what it is. I mean, I could grant her maybe that she had an experience where she, it triggered bad memories. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an entire possibility there was some PTSD going on.
Yeah.
Okay, but it didn't say that in the original article.
Oh, I remember seeing that in the reply article where the men were talking about grow up and don't be a dumbass and all
That
that.
was my point, that it didn't say in the original article.
No, it didn't
So,
say that in the original.
What are you supposed to think? You're just thinking,
Why didn't you mention that when it was more relevant?
yeah, exactly. By the way, Sexually Assaulted on the Subway is the name of my new band. It's a mouthful.
Well,
Anyways,
shit, Amoebas is going to feel really jealous now.
Shit, amoebas.
but when she told her story, first published on Medium, then on Mike, it triggered a wave of abuse she never saw coming. What, people questioning her?
Oh, God
There-
forbid that happen on the internet.
Never question the hive mind.
Never question anybody on the internet, God forbid. Oh,
Yes. Wait, I'm questioning you.
The response was crueler than she imagined. We're talking cruelty.
Cruelty.
The groping that happened to me in virtual reality was disgusting, but the verbal backlash is way worse.
Verbal Abuse, that's a good band.
is it not
Delamere-
already a band?
It's
Why does
hardcore,
it
yeah.
like it ought to be?
Yeah, it's a hardcore band from Texas.
Delamere, 30 years old, said in an email on Monday. 30 years old. You should know better.
Yes, you should know better.
But alas, the coddling continues.
Yay, the coddling.
As understanding as I can be toward angry arguments, the waves of negativity can get overwhelming. I get death threats on a daily basis from my friends. You don't
Yes,
want to know what
from
my
me.
enemies send me.
From me, that's how I say good morning to you. And by the way,
Wake up,
waves of,
badass, I hope you die.
yes, waves of negativity is another one of my new bands. I got 3 so far. Shit Amoeba, Sexually Assaulted on the Subway, and Waves of Negativity, which would be my shoegaze black metal band.
Yeah. Cry me a fucking river. Welcome to the internet. Whine more, please.
Well, yeah, okay. If you had said, this brought back painful memories of blah, 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 but you didn't. You just said, you just...
Good Lord, you really are a sniveling, cowardly woman, aren't you? Or do you always need a full red carpet treatment to do something fun?
Word.
I can agree with that last statement.
Yes.
While some people responded to Delamere sympathetically, a slew of commenters on Medium, Reddit, and Twitter attacked her and belittled her. Good.
Twitter. Yes.
Enjoy the same experience I do. You'll see the world is a much bleaker place.
Yes, and it'll be more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's more fun getting shat on than praised. Although, for some reason, people actually do seem to like this show.
They downplayed her virtual assault.
Maybe they're all fecophiles too, Elliot.
Maybe it's just feel sorry for the blind kid.
I just like this virtual assault. Criminalizing video game activities that happen in a fictional world.
Oh, you gotta get to the part that I like the best about the teabagging.
Oh, God.
Teabagging.
That was my favorite part.
We'll get there.
Everyone loves a teabagging.
Saying they'd experienced worse behavior, like teabagging.
Mm-hmm.
See, didn't I bring up teabagging last time on last week's show when we were talking about this? And then I talked about the spackly hand thing that must have been going on at the time, and what her sexual assault would have looked like from a third-person perspective. Fucking hilarious.
Yes, you did talk about it. I remember. I was there.
You're seriously complaining about a video game. Guess I should curl into a ball over all the times my Halo corpse has been teabagged.
I guess I should. I mean, my friends used to do brutal things to each other's corpses in various war games. It was funny.
Wow, this article is such a horrible joke. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was quite painful.
I can recall playing the game of life, you know, with the spinner and the little people in the car, and you go around, you do all the things to make life so interesting and traditional. I can remember my not yet husband at the time pushing his wife and her car with the kids in it off the bridge. And it was hilarious. Because we kept putting it back onto the bridge, and he kept pushing it off and going, oops.
I wonder if that's a sign.
I have been teabagged so many times in video games, it no longer bothers me.
Just in video games?
No, I have played... Yes, just in... Well, wait. Yes, just in video games.
You had to think about that one.
Shut up, Jim. Anyway.
And cut.
We know what Jim's going to be doing soon then.
If he does, I'll kill him.
Oh, please don't. Please don't, because...
Adequately acquainted with what his nuts look like from the inside.
Please don't kill him. We kind of need him for the show. I mean, it's gotten to the point where if he can't make it, we don't do his show. That's really sad.
Maybe I'll do it like the Princess Bride for the pain.
Okay, fine. But that is so sad that if he can't make it, we just can't do his show. I hate that he becomes so...
Maybe you should stop being so damn antisocial, man.
Maybe what, Jim?
I have to say, what, like my face doesn't already inspire the weeping of babes?
We've discussed that before. Most people would pay you to make Jim go away.
Yeah, and yet I'm asking you to make him stay.
No, I think they become feminists and try and make laws by which he has to go away.
I think his voice make women jam things into their vaginas, you know, spikes and shit. They want to destroy their genitals.
I think more coat hangers.
I can argue with that because I like Jim's voice.
It's a very... He should be the host. Because I have a shit voice. Continue, Mr. Weaver.
The instant counterblast to her story is an all too common consequence for women who choose to speak up about harassment.
Oh, gosh.
Like being teabagged on a video game.
Man, how many times have I been called a rocket whore? I don't fucking care. Yes, I shot you with a rocket.
Yes, I scored a hit. I was playing fucking, what's it called? Liberty City Stories on the PSP, and we entered multiplayer mode. And I scored a headshot with a rocket launcher. from a distance. Like, and you saw the body fly up with the explosion animation, but it was also squirting blood, like the decapitation animation. So that's how you know I got the head shot with a rocket launcher.
I like the one where you for a hitman, I believe you were supposed to get a hit and be all clandestine. Instead, I believe you blew up a building.
Wait, what?
You were playing a game called Hitman,
Yeah.
and you were supposed to be all clandestine and like secretive when you were supposed to kill this guy. And I believe you blew up a building or something like that.
I didn't blow up a building on that game, no. What I did was I got a silent assassin rating using plastic explosives. Which leaves one to wonder, how is that silent? Because what I did was I went to one elevator, dropped my explosives in there, waited for the guy to get in it. As the elevator went up, detonated it. Then my second target, I put another pack of explosives in the other elevator, which he got in, detonated it. Nobody found a corpse. No, everyone heard the explosion, but nobody found the corpse. Then I put a fucking piece of plastic, the final part of the plastic explosives, in a briefcase filled, and I just gave it to the guy that the one guy that I just blew up was going to have a deal with. Pissed off his guards that they started chasing me around the building, and it was just the guy left with his briefcase there, so I blew him up. And so I took out nobody else but my 3 targets, and nobody saw me do it because I used explosives out of sight.
And sneaky distraction methods.
I got the silent assassin using
You're also
explosives.
the guy that building looked at me funny.
Oh, no, that was Mercenaries.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Mercenary that I was
Playground of Destruction. That building looked at me funny. Carpet bomb the block.
I'm sorry. What was it? Mercenaries? Were you supposed to kill one person, so you decided to take out the building?
Oh yeah, there was a mission where I had to take out people secretively, and I took out the building, and the entire city block, and part of the airfield, which got my target. But since nobody saw me do it, it was just a random act.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got Hitman and Mercenary confused because
It's very Kafkaesque.
Yes, it is.
From Final Fantasy III, Kafka, where he poisoned that one lake to kill one person, but he killed everybody.
Yes.
Yes, that was a glorious scene.
Yes,
Love that guy.
All hail.
Ooh.
I understand now why women don't share their stories. I understand all too well why they do. They want the publicity. They want the cry, boo-hoo, pity me shit.
And
they want all the white knights showing up in their shining armor.
And I was sexually assaulted in virtual reality, I say.
The backlash is swift and intense. And why would anyone want to put themselves through that?
You're talking about being sexually assaulted in virtual reality. Not something like that's,
real.
Yeah.
Well, for her, it probably was because of the PTSD or whatever she may have had from the previous incident.
But like I said, she didn't mention it.
She didn't mention it in the very beginning, and that makes it a little dubious in some ways. And no, I don't want to go into victim shaming or anything, but it does make it look a little weird. If you're going to come out about something like that, you'd be absolutely and 100% honest about everything that has happened.
You can't just you can't just go, this happened, because the story looks...
It looks shifty. It looks suspicious. It looks like you're trying to make up things after the fact.
Yes.
And that's not cool. You can't do that.
Thank you. Now, I don't look like the asshole this time.
Well, no, it's just... I don't want to get into victim shaming. If you got sexually assaulted, you need to report that shit. But if you claim that you were sexually assaulted after the initial report of you saying you got sexually assaulted again...
Well, that was my thing about I don't know, Jim, if you remember the Casualties incident with the punk band, the Casualties, and somebody said that they were like some form of sexually assaulted 18 years ago. And then they were talking about it online, not to the police. And I understand reporting things can be scary, but You're not going to tell the police. You're going to tell a blog that this
after
happened.
18 years, the statute of limitations is far over with by then.
But I mean, in those 18 years, you're not going to ever report it to the police or ever even tell someone. The first time you're ever going to talk about it is on a blog. I mean, I don't want to be an ass if it's not.
Women
if it's
and
true.
men, both men and men do tend to hide that sort of thing because it's shameful. Nobody
Yes.
wants to admit that sort of thing happened to them. They don't want to admit that they had a moment of weakness, especially for men, because it's, why don't you stop being a pussy and man the fuck up?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jim's been through that shit.
And when you're a girl, it's, oh, she's crazy because she says I did this and she says I did that and everything, and it's not
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. But my point is, like, I don't want to make light of a horrible situation,
No.
but I'm sorry if I don't fully believe you when it's in these kind of circumstances. Now, can I be swayed with further proof or whatever? Yes.
People will believe you and will be more honest and accepting and believing of your story if you actually go out and make everything known. You have to be 100% transparent for people for them to believe you.
I do doubt things. I am a well-known skeptic, so
But some people will doubt things regardless.
Jim's not a real person. I doubt he's a product of the Illuminati. That's funny.
I'm a product of the imagination. You're just talking with yourselves.
Well, that Jim's the fucking boogeyman, man.
Well, I actually have a bed now, so he could live under it. Before, he'd be have to be really skinny because there was a freaking mattress on the floor.
Nah, you'd have to get him a closet or something.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, well, yeah, he and I are quite large. Although I can't even get in my fucking closet because I have so much shit piled on this now. So
I could probably just barely squeeze in there.
he's stuck.
Readers blamed Bellamere for staying in the game. They questioned her sanity and told her to grow up.
That's the first thing I thought is, why the hell didn't she just quit it right then and there?
Exactly. I've quit for more idiotic things. I've quit for more idiotic reasons. You crashed me. I'm done. Wait. Dude, you're blind and you just hit every wall in the game because you can't. I don't care. You crashed me. I'm out. Never drink and play racing games, especially if you're blind.
I had a buddy of mine in Halo, kept respawning in the same spot, couldn't figure out why he couldn't get out of that same spot, because every time he looked in front of him where he was going, all he could see was space. And it turned out that if he just turned 180 degrees, he would have seen the actual battlefield going on behind him. Instead, because he couldn't see anything, he just kept walking forward and killing himself repeatedly.
Killing himself to live.
Pretty much. It happened about 5 or 6 times before I think he got so pissed off he just sat there and pouted.
That's a great moron story.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite horrible.
Well, I'm making fun of him.
You can be an adult and learn to deal with the situation and heal and grow, or you could be a child expecting someone to change your diapers from crapping yourself every time your pain is triggered because you never choose to heal it. That's very good sound advice there. But they're trying to put this as abuse. Sound advice is now abuse.
Oh, yeah, I was once told, you shouldn't make jokes about you being blind, man. Because
that's for everybody else.
You should say, hey, fuck you, I'm blind. I get to make the jokes.
You can't, but I can. Okay, you can't too, but yeah, because you're just making light of the fact that you're a victim.
What if I identify as blind, Ken?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. Chaz, if you keep this shit up, I will make you blind, Ken.
Do it.
I will stab your goddamn eyes out.
I want to see it.
I close my eyes sometimes just to release my inner blindy.
No, even if you close your eyes, you still see a little bit. You have to chop your eyes out. You have to chop your eyes out to release your inner blindy. And I suggest you go ahead and do it.
Well, I don't want to go full into mensch.
Oh, so you're just a blind poser.
You stop being such a differently white-labelled, oppressive shitlord. How dare you be elitist with who is and who isn't blind?
You're a poser, Chaz. We're gonna go beat you up.
Elliot, stop oppressing Chaz.
Yeah.
But it's fun oppressing Chaz.
Yeah, and to mensch, stop oppressing me.
God,
and that was how the Nazis were formed.
Have you considered visiting a therapist? One user wrote on Medium. Most women
I
are.
thought he was just talking to us for a second.
Who needs therapy?
I forgot he was reading an article.
Introducing Jim, master of comedic timing.
And cut, print.
Most women are able to differentiate between the imaginary and reality.
I can't tell this.
That's not been my experience
Wait,
a lot of the time.
Wait, and female cannot confirm.
Oh God! I think this is the best show we've done in about 3 months.
Do you know what? I think women change their minds so often that they must actually be in some sort of quantum super state, by where they are kind of Schrodinger's cat of what they believe. So I think technically at any given time, yeah, until the woman says what she actually believes, she then therefore changes her mind. So you couldn't actually say.
My God, that sounds so reasonable. Honest to God.
I was going to do a joke about Chaz being sexist.
No, really, that makes a lot
No,
of
I know, but I was.
People talk about women being moody, about them not making up their minds and things like that. And sometimes, and I have been known to do this, but not very often, luckily for Jim, sometimes you don't actually make up what the hell you want to do with anything until you absolutely have a do or die moment.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. Not just women. I have the same fucking problem where I'll sit there and I'll see two things, and I will see the pros of both, and I'll see the pros of both and the cons of both, and I cannot make a goddamn decision. Do I want to go to this or do I want to go to that? And then finally I'll make a decision, and it'll be like, wait, should I have done this? And then I'll have a great time, but it'll be like, wait, should I have done this or should I? So I overthink situations. So it's not just women. It's also fucking psycho, schizo, blind.
Moody people is what it is. And absolutely, the Schrodinger argument is totally reasonable when it comes down to that, because all people are fickle. Some of us are more capricious than others.
It's blind kids who are diagnosed with Asperger's.
Here's one thing I want to ask Danimond. Danimond, do you think women cheat on men a lot more than men cheat on women?
Emotionally? Hell yes. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. My husband got mad at me for saying that I imagined other people while I was having sex with him.
No.
Imagined. Meaning these faceless people that I'm having sex with. It wasn't even people who actually had names. It was just generic, hey, it's a fireman. Hey, it's a policeman. Hey, it's somebody in a really awesome...
Oh, so it wasn't like
job.
somebody you know.
No, hell no. What people do I know? Jesus, I know Jim. You want me to imagine Jim while I have sex? Fuck you, man.
I want to know who
She's imagining some
again, sweetheart. No matter how much you protest,
wait,
you still go back to it.
Jim, what were we saying?
Jim comes to me.
See, what it is she's just imagining some bronzed steel fucking chipped out of fucking stone kind of figure whenever she's having sex with me. I know it.
So she's imagining Batman.
Yes.
Oh God, I hate Batman. No, fuck that.
I mean,
Actually,
like cartoon Batman, proper
actually,
Johnny
Aquaman.
Bravo square jaw.
I think what she's saying is...
Aquaman, okay.
I think
Aquaman.
what she's thinking is, please let me be somewhere else.
She should get head from David Coulthard, so it can feel like she's riding a dolphin.
Oh, that's good.
Fuck
That's,
And
the
if you
Dolphins.
want to know about that, just Google David Coulthard.
I don't really feel like doing that right now, honestly, and also I don't like head.
everyone knows who David Coulthard.
Well, I mean, with him, you could sit on his chin.
Next year will be his year.
Yeah, well, I don't want to sit on anybody's chin, thank you very much.
Oh, come on. He won 13 Grand Prix. He's got to. You've got to give him some.
No, you do not know the limit to which I hate that particular sexual activity.
Well, good, because,
What, having
I've never
sex?
really liked. I've never really
Now you
liked.
see my dilemma here, and why the hell she makes fun of me for my sexual escapades, because
Jim,
that
Jim
is one thing I learned how to do very well, but I'm not allowed to do it.
Exactly.
The-
This is
the-
why I'm allowed to pick a Jim, because I absolutely hate cunnilingus, and he absolutely loves it, and we're like total opposites, but somehow we get along.
So, sorry, is it just that you don't like performing or you don't like receiving or both?
No, I love giving. I hate
Meanwhile, I'm indifferent to receiving, but I love giving.
Yes, me too.
This is where I have my hugest handicap, because my one trick, the one thing I do very well, I can't do.
Yeah, I'm making him
Actually-
work for it.
I'm pretty sure you could die very well.
Yes, I can do
Anyway,
that.
we haven't read the article in about 10 minutes. Come on.
If someone does something you don't like, the reasonable solution is to leave. Hey, we said that.
Yes, we did many times.
Look,
As
do you know
much of
what? you got to give this person the right advice. Okay, yeah, you can turn it off. But if you really, really want to sort it out, the next time someone's doing this shit, start doing it back. They'll
Yeah, but
soon
she can't
fucking
do that.
stop.
No, Chaz. She can't do that because she's a harmless. She's a harmless, hopeless victim. She can't.
Yes,
she
shooting
can't
people
do
in the
it.
I
head is
once
the
got
solution.
teabagged in Battlefield by this kid who I saw teabagging other people as well. So I snuck up on him, I knifed him, took his tags, and then I teabagged him. So he tried to kill me, and he fucked up, and I teabagged him again. After that, he stopped trying to kill me, and I didn't see him teabag another person in the game.
Chaz, that's because you're an evil macho asshole. And she's a harmless victim who can't actually do anything.
The difference is you sought your own revenge. She wants other people to get the revenge for her.
Yes, it's like the little kid who says to the big kids, hit that guy, he's bullying me.
The reason why they didn't exit the simulation or the VR or whatever is because of the PTSD or whatever that it triggered.
Or because she wouldn't have such a great story.
That's a possibility, too. Must always remember that.
It does depend on how glory-seeking you are.
I didn't say that, of course.
Well, trust me, there is a third article about this that I've seen that we are not going to cover. That is a follow-up to this, the abuse that was received after this one.
So please save us from the torment.
As much of a douche that guy must have been, makes you wonder why she didn't just leave the match. Again. How many times did we say that?
Yeah.
Literally, that is my first response to that is I would leave the match if it made me feel uncomfortable.
Which means you haven't left the show, which means we haven't made you feel uncomfortable yet, which means we have to try harder.
Exactly. Come on, man.
Another common response was the attack took place in a game, so it shouldn't be taken seriously. And it definitely wasn't real sexual assault. Yes.
If someone kills you in a game, do you feel dead? Are you like rolling on the floor because someone stabbed you in a game? Or are you going, son of a bitch?
I'll tell you what, actually, I was playing a multi-user Dungeon of Mud way back when, and instead of the kill command, they had the murder command. And that made me pause for a minute, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just murder them then.
Good. I like the murder command. I wish I had a murder command with some of these people.
My second question was why the hell am I murdering a pigeon? But, you know what, I didn't make the game, so, okay.
I remember when this one chick...
I
One
murdered
female friend of-
plants.
My one female friend who was playing Looney Mud with me sat there and masturbated with Kermit the Frog's head. Then she gave me the severed head of Kermit the Frog. It was in my inventory. So I gave her Klinger's dress from the 4077. I was keeping the fucking lightsaber that she was begging for. No, Kermit the severed head was not worth that much to me.
I'm still back in murdering pigeons.
It just baffled me. I mean, like, what the fuck? It's a pigeon, man. Come on.
That's some sort of PETA shit.
I know, right? It's like, what?
Meat is murder. No, you want to see murder? Here, come a little bit closer.
It would have only been acceptable if it was an extinct species or a near to extinct species. Let me murder passenger pigeons. That'll be fine with.
PETA is the people who asked Judas Priest in 2002 to change the title of the album Hell Bent for Leather to Hell Bent for Pleather.
I read your Facebook.
That would just make them sound like a middle-class mummy blog that's all about cleaning.
Yes, it does.
Or it sounds like the sort of cheesy advertising you'd expect somebody who makes sofas to come up with.
I forgot you're a friend on Facebook now.
Yes. During the Iraq War, I didn't do anything.
You're breaking up a bit there.
Except coming in.
You might need to refresh. You're breaking up real bad. Might need to refresh your browser. Anyways. Fuck. We had to laugh a minute until that.
There's still time. I've only ever laughed. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, we can hear you better now.
My internet doesn't like being on the door.
Yes.
So what were you saying about the Iraq War?
In the Iraq War, PETA only intervened once, and that was to tell the insurgents not to use donkeys for suicide bombing.
I'm going to suicide bomb you with my donkey.
That was literally it. They just basically sent a letter to them saying, "Hey, don't do that." They didn't say anything about the people dying.
Yeah, you can use tanks, you can use whatever. Just don't use.
I just have this image now of Winnie the Pooh riding that donkey and that thing and shouting "Ego Akbar."
I can imagine that Eeyore doing it would be like Allahu Akbar.
Oh come on, Eeyore was fucking cool.
Allahu Akbar.
Because Eeyore saw how life was. He's like Marvin the Paranoid Android. That's my favorite character on Hitchhiker's Guide. But then
he is super depressed.
I don't see how anyone's surprised. Someone was like, "I'm surprised Marvin's your favorite character." I'm like, "Dude, it's me." You're surprised.
I personally think the narrator's the funniest person in the entire Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I like the president.
I didn't say funniest. I didn't say funniest, Chaz. I said he's my favorite because he reminds me of me.
The president. That's your favorite.
Yeah, the two-headed guy with the multiple personality issue.
You're talking about Zaphod Beetlebrox.
Yes.
Beetlebrox. Stupid. You said Beetle. You're a poser.
I've got a bit of a cold at the moment.
I do not remember his name.
No. I'm once again, I'm making fun of Chaz for being a poser. Anyway, Jim.
Let's be clear. This is VR. There was no assault. There is no victim. There is an asshole who made someone uncomfortable. The easiest solution is to find someone else to play or go solo.
Virtual reality, the victimless crime.
Yay. No, it's the perpetratorless crime.
I know. I was fucking... Shut up. Stop it.
There was clearly a victim here, but there was no actual perpetration.
And the victim was me for having to read it.
She was not sexually assaulted in VR. Her sexless avatar was virtually touched by another sexless avatar. This is not a big deal at all.
Oh
And
my
yet,
gosh.
this is emotional abuse, stating truth.
Yes.
I asked game developer Elizabeth Sampat how she would classify Bellamir's experience.
Well, basically, she needs to harden the fuck up.
First, I consider it assault, not harassment. The fucking game maker's considering it a crime.
Well, obviously they don't want to condone that sort of activity inside of their game. That would
No,
be
yeah, they're playing politics. They can't condone the activity, and because it let's face it, they're getting a bad name.
Yeah, it looks bad on you as a game.
You know what I think it really was, right? And I do have a wondering with this. I think the companies, unfortunately, select somebody, when it comes to these PR things, who's really fucking dry-humoured and sarcastic. And when they go into this thing, they're like taking the piss, but they get the most clueless, most unintrospectionless journalist ever. And so they're like, oh, yeah.
See, I like the idea, but you're putting too much. No, because
could you just imagine it though? There is just somebody there going, "Oh
great.
No! First of all, I would call it assault, not harassment.
Yes,
I mean, there was clear contact involved."
Yes, and that would be funny, but it's not true. But because what are you going to say? What are you going to say? No, it's because then if you say no, you get picketed by these people, and if you say you're going to want to walk the path of least resistance here.
You compromise. You make it seem like, yes, something bad happened, but no, it wasn't nearly as
But
bad.
by the way, can we just remember with this whole thing, when it comes to games having to be changed of certain mechanics in them because of some lunacy, but just remember, feminists are in no way trying to take away your video games.
No, of course not.
Jim, continue before I wring both these people's necks.
Wait. I want to say something here, okay? Bethesda has Fallout 4 out, yeah? They just put out the mods and so on. They haven't gotten for PS4 yet, I think. But their website states that they won't allow things that are sexual in nature and so on and so forth. Now, they won't allow people to have super big-ass boobs on there.
Okay.
And that annoys me. Because what if I want to play a female who has really big boobs?
Well, then that's sexual discrimination or some shit. I don't fucking... I'll never understand this.
And here's the thing. My issue with it is that Bethesda cannot survive the pro-porn aspect of this thing. The only people who make these mods, generally speaking, are males, and these males want to see women with abnormally large boobs, and that's okay for them, and it's okay for girls who want to see abnormally large boobs.
And they won't survive. They're going to fucking tank because of this.
But they don't allow that sort of thing because they know better, because public opinion does not approve of things that are not sexually kosher.
Well, thanks Satan for the aftermarket mod market. I don't know if they have that in Fallout 4, but I know in several racing games they do have flagrantly illegal aftermarket kind of mods that you can do yourself.
Well, on the PC, you can get whatever the hell mod you want on Fallout 4, but on the Xbox 360, or Xbox One, I should say, you cannot do that.
Well, Bethesda, you're going to fucking tank then.
Bethesda right now is receiving a lot of shit about a lot of things, but this mod thing has actually been very, very low on the market for them.
Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of shit about Bethesda. By the way, speaking of new games, apparently the Battlefield 1's a really fucking good game. Because it's about World War I. If I could see, I'd be checking that shit out, so...
I'm just pissed I can't get my character to be, like, really busty.
Well, you should have your character.
Look, I play Gears of War. Okay, I play Gears of War. I played Gears of War up till 3, and I haven't checked out the one with Baird, and I haven't checked out the new one. I don't know if it's out yet or not, but I won't be checking it out because they kind of broke my heart with that.
I think it is out.
They kind of broke my heart with that. Now, people who know me know exactly how much I like Gears of War. I absolutely love being Marcus Phoenix or Dom. And I absolutely love going around curb stomping fucking aliens and stuff. I have no problem with being super macho or whatever. But at the same time, I'm not allowed in an equally adult and graphic game allowed to have a character that has enormous boobs.
Right, and this is an adult game. This is not for fucking children.
No, it is mature. It is entirely mature.
Granted, I played it at 13, but, that's because or 15 or whatever the hell it came out.
How many of us have not played a game like that at 13?
Yeah, well, that's because we're cool. But so yeah, it's a mature game, so it should be. And I think, I don't know. I think they'll learn their lesson. It's just a matter of how many sales they'll lose.
Anyways, first I'd consider it assault, not harassment. And it is unavoidable in VR for the same reason it is unavoidable in reality. No one in power cares enough to do anything.
Oh, for Lord's sake.
Yeah, you mean
First off, in reality, we have things called laws, and this kind of thing in reality, there are laws against it where someone goes to prison if they do it.
Here's the question. Because I kind of figured laws on internet things, like you guys were talking about the internet troll thing, how there might be laws governing it, which is not that unexpected in my opinion. I was kind of thinking that it might happen because you've got to regulate something, or at least that's what they think. Laws about virtual reality, I just don't know how you're going to police it. Like the internet troll thing, I just don't know how you're going to police laws on virtual reality.
It'll be one of those things that people have to actually sit down and, conceive of after it becomes an issue. And trying to push the issue before it even has happened.
If there are laws, they're probably going to be one of those token, yeah, we'll give it to you if you shut the hell up, but we can't actually police it. We have no attention to things.
Well, seriously, it honestly feels like the feminists at this point, the feminazis, if you will, are trying to get to the point where they can police the rules before the rules become prevalent.
Yeah,
and that's not cool.
I do hope because everything comes in trends, and I do hope that sort of trend is nearing its end because
I'm not proud to say I'm a feminist right now because the way feminists are acting is absolutely horrendous.
Well, I call myself, in line with feminist beliefs because until I joined Metalgate, I didn't know about this shit. It was Jim, and I was like, Jim, I'm kind of regretting coming on this fucking show.
I'm kind of regretting even actually saying that I am out loud a feminist. Because at this point, being who I am, being a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids and a husband and all this other shit going on and writing porn and knowing a shit about religion, it all seems to backfire on me. I really, literally cannot be a feminist despite the fact that all I want is just to be able to do what the fuck I want to do.
Yes, I've heard of your fucking shitty internet.
Yes, my horrible internet fam. No, I literally argued with somebody on a Nicki Minaj song about how wanting to please your man is not necessarily anti-feminist. It takes all kinds. It really does.
Of course it's not. And all my friends who call themselves feminists understand that.
It's really, really hard to find people like that, though. Especially on the internet. God bless that damn internet.
Yeah, it's both a blessing and a curse. The blessing is, look who I got together.
The blessing is you met me. The curse is you met me.
Yeah. I mean, the blessing is look who I got together for this show.
Man, I think Jim, I think I was ruined before I met you, so it's not so much of a big issue, but you helped.
Well, I was screwed up. Well, I was fucked up before.
I shows you saying, yes, you see that thing you says fucked up? This is how much more fucked up it actually is. I kind of figured, but I didn't want to delve into it. Fuck.
I got together a whole bunch of sewer rats.
What pisses me off is I deliberately chose to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted kids. I actually wanted to have kids. When I was a teenager, people were like, oh, what the shit happened? Because I was not expected to have kids, but I decided to have kids. Okay, big whoop, whatever. And yeah. I have decided on my own to write porn, and I write porn, so yay! But
have fun.
For some reason, anything that I seem to do, whether it's staying at home and pleasing my man, or men, I should say at this point, or whether it's having kids and raising them to a point where they aren't antisocial fucks like you guys.
Good.
That's high hopes. I like that.
Right,
That's
literal.
high hopes. That is high hopes because, oh my God, I know it's not going to turn out like that. But you know what? That's okay too.
May we never meet in reality because, like, 10 minutes with your kids, they'll be like, Mommy, I heard this really cool band called Necrophobic.
My kids watch Five Nights at Freddy's all the fucking time. They draw Springtrap. They talk to me about jump scares. My kids are absolutely horrified and fascinated by death.
I was never horrified. I was always fascinated by it. That's why I write torture.
It goes hand in hand.
That's why you write porn. I write torture fanfics where I torture cartoon characters.
Well, I torture people emotionally.
Yes, and it is glorious. Anyways.
Oh, and by the way, but before you begin, curb stomp Jim, please.
That requires him to get on the ground, and I'm pretty sure if he got down, he wouldn't get up again anyway. He's like a turtle. Have you ever seen a turtle try to get up off the ground?
Yes, we used to have a tortoise, yes.
It's kind of pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah, my dachshund, well, not out of spite, but she was really curious. She used to sniff him, and she would bump her nose against him, and he used to flip. Although I actually saw him get up once.
I approve of that insult anyway. Ohio State University researchers surveyed 293 women who played video games online and found that misogynistic comments like rape jokes and threats had lasting effects.
I played Pathfinder with your ex, Jim, and we traded insults and comments all the time. And then she fucking double-crossed me. Anyway, elf.
Yeah, never trust an elf.
Never trust an elf. Or a dolphin, apparently.
Fucking dolphins!
But, oh, God, people need to just stop acting so fucking...
The only reason that sort of thing would have a lasting effect, in my opinion, would be emotionally. Physically, it doesn't affect you at all. But emotionally, girls are more likely to sit there and think and think and think and think and then be like, oh my God, did I totally just get assaulted? And then make it up into some big-ass thing and just be like, oh my God! And then,
some things we say on this show have a lasting effect, and that every time I hear the word yellow, I burst out laughing. And you're not going to understand why, but Jim will understand why that is.
Yes. Oh,
these are the reasons why I hate being feminist, is because some women absolutely think they're being victimized because they don't understand what truly being victimized is.
Yes, and those are people I don't associate with.
First world problems for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Not because the funny thing is that I don't associate with them, not because I forced them out of my life. They run out of my life.
They don't forget about sexual harassment. The abuse that women experience online stays with them and has real-world impact. They withdraw from the game and continue to think about what happened.
I get called names and death threats all the time by my friends, Jim.
Yes. I have threatened to mutilate you how many times?
Yes, and I constantly say, when we meet, the first thing we're going to do is probably beat the shit out of each other. And then crawl to the beer.
Yes, we'll crawl to the beer.
Well, you certainly won't have a hard time hitting him. There's enough of them to go around.
Yeah, but that's kind of scary.
Yeah, you've hit that, haven't you?
There's enough of me to go around, too. I'm freaking fat, so...
Yeah, I don't think you're as big as Jim.
Okay, Miss Konami Coda's pillow talk.
I would say we're about even.
Do you really think they're going to fight, or when they get close enough together, they'll create a ginormous gravity well between the two of them, and their masses will collide?
What's that, Danaman?
Elliot, you and me, we'll flank him. How about that?
Okay. Actually, I'm the same height as him, too.
Well, shit.
If you stand in between both of them, you'll age much slowly because of the time dilation.
You bastard.
And that's not even factoring in unwanted physical contact in an immersive environment.
We should have called the show Two Fat Bastards.
Three
Oh,
fat bastards. I can't call myself skinny by
Well,
any means.
wait, 4 if you consider me, although I don't know if I'm considered a bastard or a whore, but hey.
Can we call you cunt?
Yeah, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, you're all cunts. You know what?
We
you
don't
know
know
what?
if you're exactly
Actually,
fat though.
There we go. Hey, that sounds even better. 4 fat cunts there.
I'm 5'4" and 200 pounds. I am fat.
I was gonna say that sounds attractive.
I'm short and chubby.
Yeah.
Although,
So
according
are
to
raccoons.
Come-
to public opinion, I am morbidly obese.
Come to California. Sorry. Not really. But no, I was gonna say yes. That is the official term of endearment for Swine Brothers. Cunt.
Yes.
Me and Jim talked about that.
Yes. Virtual reality spaces are going to continue becoming more lifelike and densely populated as more people acquire the hardware, which gives me a fucking headache, so I do not want any part of it.
Now you've said you're 4'6" and 200 pounds. To be honest, I don't think that sounds that bad. But all I'm imagining now is like this dwarf with giantism syndrome.
5'4" and 200.
Oh, 5'4". Well, that's not that bad.
Depends on where you are.
5'4". That's not that small.
I still think you should come out to California, but
According to the U.S. BMI charts, I am morbidly obese.
Oh, the BMI is a bunch of shit.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's the most pointless equation.
You
Only a fucking
want to know?
It's
you
public
wanna know-
perception, though. Public perception is all that matters. I'm just a fat-ass feminist.
Well, no, the BMI doesn't actually even take into account public opinion. It's a bullshit set of fucking calculations.
I once dated a woman who was 5'1" and over 300 pounds. So
Okay, now that sounds like a dwarf with giantism.
Damn, dude.
Also, Danamon's tits are very nicely sized and they're not too big.
Well, it was
You've got
basically.
ginormous jubblies. That will make you look a lot thinner.
Well, they're not
We all know that from
ginormous,
Eddie
but
Izzard.
they're not ginormous because my ex had fucking ginormous ones. Her Dynamons are just like, that nice little, they're big, but it doesn't look like they're going to hurt her back kind of big.
Chaz,
a handful and more is worse, sort of thing.
Chaz, it wasn't quite gigantism because giants aren't that soft. Let's put it that way. But she's lost a lot of weight since then. But it was fun.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being fat. It's just a matter of public perception.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being fat as long as you keep yourself, healthy and able to do shit.
If you're able to get up and go out and do things and you don't make yourself sound like you're dying when you're walking up a sidewalk or something, that's perfectly fine.
I think
Yeah,
if we
as
were
long
to
as
even
you're
talk public perspective, I think you'll find a public consensus. Like if you showed them a bunch of women who all look roughly the same, but different sizes, I think you'll find the tolerance is slightly higher than you believe it to be.
Well,
for public perception.
Are you showing women that picture, or are you showing men? Because there's a big difference. Because women are, oh my god, women are so much more judgmental of other people. And
See, I do sound like I'm dying when I go on the sidewalk, but it's not because that's like, oh my god, there's a hot thing in the sky. I think I'm gonna melt. Anyway, continue with the story. We have a long one.
That puts the onus on developers working VR to learn from their two-dimensional predecessors dealing, or not dealing, with online abuse. Dun dun dun.
That's why we should legalize everything interesting online. And
Yeah, fuck these people. I miss the Wild West, where I could be handed the severed head dripping with blood of fucking Kermit the Frog right after my female friend got done pleasuring herself with it.
Do you know what I don't like? I don't like this whole thing that feminists often say that it's unfair that, women have the stereotype of having long hair. And what they don't understand is that when women have short hair, you're not quite sure if she's a cancer patient or a lesbian.
Well, see, I've dated a woman with short hair who was neither a cancer patient or a lesbian. She just didn't want to have hair streaming down. And, it was, she never got at it. Was never like, oh, I got her, are you a lesbian? It was just like, okay, you have short hair. It was whatever,
Well,
You were hoping for cancer patient.
Chaz should not see my head then.
Yes, he should not, because that would make him cower.
I wear my hair in a punk fashion so that the sides and back are shaved, but the top is long. And I have recently gotten comments on Facebook with
Oh
people
no! I'm
asking me-
talking like a grade 2.
Well, no, this is very, very short. And the people have asked me on Facebook, are you afraid that somebody guessed your true gender? Like I'm some kind of gender fluid person. And I'm like, no. The fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm just letting my hair grow because I'm far too lazy to get a fucking haircut.
I am 100% female. I have never argued that. I have always been female. I will never not be female. That is what I am. I just enjoy having funky ass hair. For God's sake, leave me the fuck alone.
And I'm glad you're a female because that is nice, wet, and tight. Anyway.
I just look like a metalhead. You know, long hair.
Actually, she chokes on my hair enough whenever I'm bobbing around.
Jim's hair is absolutely horrible. You should cut it, but he doesn't, and that's okay. I don't care.
And that's why you should dump him and go with me, because my hair has reached this point where it's not going to grow anymore.
But you're in California.
If I had enough money.
See, I just
wow.
I just wanted to see how Jim would react to that.
And my reaction was bong chicka wow wow. Chicka wow wow.
Jim's reaction was go ahead and flirt with Elliot about what, like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's why you should break up with Jim.
I'm poly. I don't gotta break up with nobody, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you should still do it just to make him cry.
Oh.
She's got other ways of making me cry anyway.
Yes.
Or at least be nice enough to send Elliot a tit pic. He'll really appreciate that.
Okay.
You're all bastards, you know that?
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm not kidding either.
I'll kill you, and I'll kill you.
Well, from what I hear, it's like, you know, it's like waking up. It's the best part of waking up from what I heard.
Twitter, for example, sees women and people of color ditch its platform when the abuse becomes too much. There's two things. There's one thing called a block button and another thing called a mute button.
And if you want, Elliot, you can have Jim describe how they feel, and I'll describe how they look for you, and that will help. Come on, I'm all for equality. You know, some of us can't run, so we have to sometimes have a walking race.
Or just Chaz want me to send a dick pic or a picture.
A dick pic. Well, that's going to be rather impressive of you. I admit that I'm a woman. I'm nothing but a woman. Do you want a dick pic?
Wait.
Jim, I have about 15 dicks in my collection.
Wait.
Is that what you call your vagina these days?
Dicks off.
I don't take pictures of that.
You cut dicks off and put them in a case?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that's what she does. That's why we're together.
I have convinced 15 people or been spontaneously offered 15 dick pics since
can I just ask?
January of 2016.
Okay, the majority of them, of that 15, were they solicited or unsolicited?
Almost all of them were unsolicited.
Oh, fucking men are so thirsty.
Hey.
I wouldn't do it because I can't take a picture and because I'm lazy.
I'd actually like to know from somebody how, after sending out 100 dick pics, how many tit pics do they actually get back?
Well, I don't know. Usually all the people who send me one get one back.
What, a dick pic or a tit pic?
Tit pic. Jeez, I don't have a dick. Jeez.
No, I thought you might just be exchanging other, like, you know, dick pic, thank you. Here's one back from someone else.
Oh, I could totally do that. No.
That's what you should start doing.
Also, oh my gosh, that is like
the second they send you a dick pic, save the dick pic, and then send them the rest of the file of dick pics that you own.
That is like the best way to get rid of a creeper, though. Thank you.
yes, it is. That's a Swine Brothers top tip right there.
There you go.
We should maybe start a new segment of Swine Brothers, WWCD. What would Chaswell do?
There you go.
What would Carl's do?
Dear Chaswold, I have been receiving a lot of dick pics on the internet since
Yes, you
January.
have, Chaz, and you like it.
Dear Chaswold, I was molested in Quiver, the VR game. Oh, could you imagine the amount of BuzzFeed articles and Huffington Post articles that disappear overnight?
Man, you'd be hot shit at that point.
Yes, the show would actually make you some fucking money.
And then Chaz would, ditch us and go on and, make a whole lot of money without us.
And then we'd
like,
make
fuck
shit out
you,
of
man.
it. Yeah, but it's okay.
I'd so Justin Timberlake, a lot of you.
I would use Jim and you as, like, cash cow. See the couple fight.
To be honest, I wouldn't blame you, Chaz. I firmly believe anybody who can make money should go make money.
We're trying with this show.
Abuse that has cost Twitter some very necessary business.
I mean, I'm only on Twitter so I can keep up with racing updates. I still laugh whenever someone likes a Facebook post that I do because it goes to my Twitter. I'm like, oh yeah, you saw that, didn't you?
So what can VR developers do to get ahead of an already rising issue?
Nothing.
Mutilate.
Nothing.
Mutilate.
First, diverse teams, as in the version of diversity where everyone looks different but thinks the same. Not everyone thinks differently and comes up with different solutions to various problems which may arise.
Okay.
Which is why we should.
Didn't they say that the person who was being molested was an androgynous avatar who was being molested by another androgynous avatar?
Which is why we should come up with solutions for things because we think very differently.
Mm-hmm. And we attack each other's ideas constantly.
Well, I'm just saying, if a person was willing to virtually molest somebody with a androgynous avatar, then what the fuck are we going to do to prevent that?
She was saying that they knew she was female because of the voice. So I have an idea. Turn off the voice feature.
Oh, great. Make your game even more boring.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Take out the social element. Why would I ever play a game?
Well, you could type, but it's like, well, so that's the only reason.
Right. Okay. I have lived through that time period where we didn't have female voices online, and I can tell you this much: when I was playing Gunbound, there were a ton of people who constantly asked me if I was actually female, even though my username was pretty androgynous. And they'd be like, "Are you really a girl?" And I'd be like, "Of course I am." And they'd be like, "Are you sure?" Because my avatar was female, but I couldn't actually tell them in my
but
voice.
you've got to think of the entire history of gaming and how often somebody who's a woman isn't actually a woman.
No, I understand that. It's just...
So that's the only reasonable solution I can think of, and that would ruin all its fun.
But the point is now is that if, at this point, because we haven't understood how many actual female gamers there are out there and how many misogynist people there are out there, whether they're not female or whatever, if we can't understand how many gamers are actually female and then they come online and they have these headsets on and they're talking in their actual female voices and these girls get not so much attacked as harassed online, then what the fuck are we going to do about it?
Jump off a cliff.
Enable PvP so they could shoot them in the head.
Yes.
We touch my ass. Bam. Done.
What we have to do is, as from a girl's perspective, is we have to just get out there, ignore the bad shit, and just continue to do our thing.
No, you don't even have to ignore it. This wasn't even some bad shit that needs to be ignored.
No.
If she just turned around and gone, "Look, mate, I would grab your crotch, but just like your avatar, you don't actually have a penis."
Given that her problem is a little bit more specific with the actual sexual assault that she may have had.
Well, that's the thing. Because if we don't know if she's bringing this up to try and...
The one article said that she did suffer a sexual assault. I don't know. It's the internet, so I don't believe it necessarily. It's one of those things where I don't trust anything until I see a fucking police report.
If it's true, I can understand. But if it's not, and I get it, people are shocked and people are people want to be the victim, or at least if not want to, like they are the victim.
Yeah, but I know people who have PTSD from war and they don't get triggered by playing Call of Duty and Battlefield.
And that's a little bit different.
Yes, but they do get triggered by fireworks, actually. That is a real thing.
It is.
Yeah, but that's in reality. The human brain,
Can
unless
distinguish
you've
between
got
reality and non-reality.
yeah, unless you've got certain mental illnesses, you can tell the difference. In fact, one of the instant symptoms of a mental illness is not being able to distinguish the fantasy from reality.
Yeah, I've been there.
The show is a walking.
I have those mental illnesses, and I can still distinguish fantasy from reality. But that's because I've accepted the fact I'm insane.
It makes it easier for you to actually concentrate on what's not real. It contributes to you being creative, and it makes it easier for you to make things like D&D or writing or what have you into real things. It's a good skill to have, but the problem is that most people with video games, it's a little bit more immersive than a video or a TV show or a movie or whatever, right? And it's a little but more intense than a book. So it somewhere meets in the middle there, things that may trigger you and may not. And I don't want to be anti-victim, because I firmly believe if you have been sexually assaulted, please report that shit, because it is good and you should do that.
Yes.
You cannot look at the press and see people saying, oh, well, these people are stupid for not reporting, even though it's years after the fact and they can't have anything done with their case. Because no, that is not what happens. If you got sexually reported, you report that shit. Or assaulted. But in video games, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly.
In video games, what I did when I was younger, playing a female in actual video games where I played as a female avatar and people didn't believe me, I just said, you know what, fuck you, I'll just keep playing. And ignored them.
But people don't want it because I'm betting she could sense a story as soon as it has started happening.
Silicon Valley companies and their ilk elsewhere tend to make technology by affluent white men and for affluent white men.
There we go.
Which is why mob harassment is basically baked into Twitter's DNA.
There we go.
Even though Twitter has got the Trust and Safety Council of Anita Sarkeesian behind it.
Yes.
Twitter was developed by an amateur racer named David Heinemeier Hansen. I know that much.
All I can tell you about Twitter is it's run by whores. Pretty much it.
Jim runs Twitter?
Oh, I wish. It's something that most affluent white guys have never had to deal with.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm the blind guy. I'm the blind guy who likes weird devil music and who... You want to talk about the things I've had to deal with?
You want to talk about things I've had to deal with? Being called a fucking faggot because I was sexually molested at the age of 7 by someone twice my age. More than twice my age. Fucking shit. God, getting fucking thrown around then getting fucking more fucking physical abuse thrown my way because I was honest when people asked me where I was. When I came back to regular school, I was in a loony bin for being suicidal, but they ignored the suicidal part, thought I was trying to be hot shit, so they fucking beat the shit out of me again. And I couldn't lift a finger to defend myself because the fucking high school principal thought I was a sociopath. Little did you know he was breeding one.
No tolerance. That's how that works. Everybody gets punished.
Uh-huh. So, you're sitting here just calling me, foreign by affluent white male. Fuck you.
I don't think Jim is affluent whatsoever at all.
I don't think he's a white male either, but that's beside the point.
Well, he's kind of white if you look at all the dirt.
That wasn't what I was saying.
Yes, if I bathe off the dirt, I'm a bit whiter.
I'm pretty sure Jim is kind of like those birds that take bird baths in dirt.
No, I wasn't talking about being white.
Well, he's definitely not affluent, and he's definitely not white. Are you considering that he's not male?
No, I never say that about Jim.
Because, I can totally disprove that.
Well, maybe he's a post-op. I don't know. For some reason, the cruelty has gone up on this show. I like it.
Yes, I enjoy it highly.
We haven't been this cruel in a long time. I think the day off has been good for us.
And white affluent males would never think of designing to prevent this shit.
You know what? I'm going to tell you about a little game we once played in PE. Throw the frisbee as an Elliot. Now, this wasn't a bullying thing. It was literally, I said, hey, we have frisbees. Try and see if you can throw them at me and see how bad it would hurt. So they threw them at me, and I threw them back at people. And, God, we played that for 45, 50 minutes. And I was black and blue at the end of it, and I loved it. That was the game we played. Throw the frisbees at the blind kid. And I instigated it because I knew they hated. I knew they hated
physical activity. It sounds like British Bulldog.
I knew they hated me. Okay, I knew they didn't like me, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to use their dislike of me for fun because I wasn't masochistic, but I just wanted to see how what it would feel like to have frisbees thrown at you. I don't know. It's called exploring. Plus, I threw frisbees at someone's head. Oh,
also, reasonably, rationally, as a human being, you would suppose that if you engage in a physical activity, it would be with risk.
Yes, and I wanted to see
Well,
what happened. It wasn't so much
there was a video game, a basketball video game called Arch Rivals. We decided to play a real-life version of that, where you run around and punch each other for the fucking ball.
By the way, throw the frisbees at the blind kid was very fun for all concerned, especially when I wanged that guy in the head. That was fucking funny. It made a cracking sound.
Hey, I scored a hoop smashing a basketball off of someone's skull, and it just bounced right in. Of course, that was unintentional. I was just trying to hit him in the head. It going in the hoop was just an interesting side effect.
When was the first time you were called a sadist? I was called that about age 6. When was the first time you were called a sadist, Jim?
I've never actually been called a sadist, actually.
About age 25, I was called a soul-sucking, heart-stealing psycho bitch.
No, at the age of 17, I was the satanic baby killer of Jeanette.
I was found to have I was found to have sadistic tendencies. Not like in bed or whatever, but just, I wouldn't mind stripping the flesh off your bones.
Yes.
I like to think that I was like the Columbine Killers or the kid from Paducah or a bunch of those other 1998.
Come on, you don't want to be the Columbine Killers. They're fucking pussies.
Now listen. You understand what I mean? The Columbine Killers and the kid from Paducah, his name was Kip Kinkle, and a couple of other kids in between the years of 1997 to 2000 and I think 2001. Yeah. All those kids did not give any warning whatsoever. Yeah. They were quiet kids. They seemed well behaved, and then all of a sudden they fucking snapped. That's what I like to think I'm like.
I used to host a show called a fake show with my friends called the Kip Kinkle Comedy Hour. Yes.
I felt bad for that kid. I really did.
I'm surprised they didn't call themselves the Columbine Harvesters.
That was good. But see, I used to like the Columbine kids until I realized that they couldn't even make their stupid bombs explode. And it was just,
I know, it was really kind of sad.
Yeah, it was such a sad. They fired off so many rounds and hit no one.
They were woefully prepared for that sort of thing.
Well, they were trained on Call of Duty.
No, they weren't.
No, they were trained on Doom, which kind of auto-aimed a little.
Yeah, you moron.
It didn't auto-aim. Yeah, you shot in the same direction and the bullets magically whizzed where they needed to be.
Yeah, but Call of Duty wasn't. I don't remember when Call of Duty was out. Stupid.
Fuck if I know. I don't like Call of Duty.
It was late 90s, I think the first one came out.
Early 2000s, actually.
People with different life experiences, women.
Right, was that the first one of the... Or are you talking a very original, not like
Yes, the original. Well, you said no, you said Call of Duty. What did the original Call of Duty come out? Quickly.
Well, I know, because if there's the sort of like the EA lot, and then there was the original...
Oh, look it up.
Well, I want to say 2001.
Thank you.
I think if you're talking about the original, it was late 90s.
Fuck if I know. I don't like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I don't either. I just like being a dick to Chaz because he, well, you're talking about Call of Duty.
It feels like a millennial game. It feels like something that happened after the year 2000, honestly.
I like the World War II one.
Oh God. Anyways,
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Go on,
people with
Jim.
different life experiences, women, especially women of color,
Oh.
non-straight women, and trans women, bring different perspectives and have different priorities, unless they all think the same, which we've seen a great many of them do. Fuck.
How does any one person think the same as another?
Well, it's what we call having a core ideology to base everything off of. You know.
That doesn't work that way, though.
2003. I knew it because I remember when we got the first Call of Duty for the computer. It was actually pretty fun, and then we got it for PlayStation. I didn't like it, but it was 2003. I actually vividly remember that because I was going through World War II phase, which lasted till I was 9 till the present.
Well,
Except
Yeah,
I do
so-
believe the original one was First World War.
No, the original was second. Then they went to first, and then Modern Warfare, and things like that. But I don't know why I love it when I prove Chaz wrong.
Now, I have to ask at this point obligatorily, how old are you, Elliot?
22.
Oh my God.
Nope. What?
Nothing? Nothing?
Oh, Jim, who was I talking to just now? Someone who had seen Iron Maiden in '81.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm kind of used to talking to people who are older than me.
He's an old soul.
It's not about being older, it's about the maturity level, and I have dealt with so many young people.
No, I've dealt with young people too. I only hung out with people who were like in 12th grade when I was 10. When I was like, I'm sorry, when I was like in 10th grade, I only hung out with people who were like in 12th, and because it was just like I hated my own age group. So yeah.
I recently voluntarily adminned an RP group that almost solely consisted of 16-year-olds, and that democratic anarchist at 13.
You poor sod. Well, I mean, yeah, I've always had friends who were older. Bishop,
Whenever he died in D&D, was he like going, "Come see the violence inherent in the system. Help, help, I'm being repressed."
No, it was, why are all the admin trying to kill the biker gangs and all this other stuff? And it was basically, look, dude, we're not trying to take out your gang. We're not trying to take you out. We're just trying to work a story. And if you can't understand that, then maybe you're not mature
I'll
enough
tell you.
to roleplay.
So you know those wannabe rappers? You know, the wannabe gangsters and, you know, the lily white kids who grew up in the suburbs but talk like they're MC whatever the fuck.
Or like that Jamie Kennedy movie.
Uh,
Was it Malibu? Something
yeah, like that guy. Well, me and my friend, the late, great, lamented Johnny Puke, who should be on this show. Well, he's dead, so we can't really do anything anymore, but he should have been on this show. He decided to take the kid to Compton. The kid came back. Hey, what do you know? Slang all gone. Cleaned up his act because he saw what real gangsters was shit scared. Because he was Mr. Badass. He was, oh, fucking, I'm gonna fucking shoot you with my Uzi because I'm fucking rapper.
See, this is one of the things I loved whenever I was hanging out with my fucking racist friends and we were younger. Fucking shit. What was Halloween. And, like, you know, they decided, oh, we're going to go out as Halloween dressed up as the most fucked up things. So one friend dressed up as a Klansman. The other one dressed up as, you know, fucking soldier, you know. And so I just grabbed some fucking shoe polish, put on blackface. And I was wearing fucking tank top and shorts because I didn't have money for anything elaborate. And I decided to take them to this one guy that I knew looked big, mean, and scary looking. This was a black guy I had been delivering papers to. And me and him were cool. But I wanted to expose them to this, and it was just so funny. Because they're all saying we're going to be hardcore, we're going to be fucking trick-or-treating in the fucking black part of Jeanette, and blah, 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 blah. And I take them to this house, the big mean guy, and I knock on the door. He looks at us all pissed off. Who are you? I'm a ghost. Boo. Who are you? I'm G.I. Joe. Who are you? I'm Magic Johnson. Gives each a piece of candy. He slammed the door. They were scared shitless.
I just like,
I'm actually surprised that we haven't run into any actual like articles today about racial appropriation.
I just like the Klansman. I'm a ghost. Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. Oh God, I scared them so shitless with that. It was great.
Did the guy recognize you?
Oh, he recognized me, and I guess he assumed that he was just supposed to play along. Because like I bumped into him at, the next time I was delivering papers at his house, and, we were laughing at it. I was like, yeah, they needed that.
Because the next time you did that, you could have actually got him in on the gag and had him come out brandishing like a axe or something.
You know what I would have said if you said Magic Johnson? Is this pre-AIDS or? It's Magic Johnson got soft.
Wait. Bonus points if you throw like Monopoly money every time you say trick or treat.
It's Magic Johnson after the operation. He got all fat and broken.
Remember the South Park episode where where they were talking about how money cured all his AIDS?
Yeah,
like that.
I know what you're talking. I was just talking about how Jim does not look like Magic Johnson. Wrong body type.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that if everyone employed at Twitter had to tweet about game development, politics, etc., using female avatars and names, Twitter's tools for handling harassment would get more robust in a hurry.
Oh, God, here we go again.
Well, fuck, if I'm going to be on Twitter, I want to have a hot female avatar.
I don't even think I don't.
Yes, but this is saying that you're going to get all this abuse because of it.
I don't even know if I have a picture on Twitter.
If everybody on Twitter had a hot female avatar, it wouldn't affect half of the fucking porn stars out there.
No.
But the other people would be forced to decide whether they want a pin-up girl, an actual porn star, or some sort of fantasy game person or whatever.
Well, Jim already knows who I'd pick, and that would be Jinx Dawson from Coven. Jim, I've seen the fucking things you subscribe to on Twitter.
You should also, though, there would be people who go totally anti whatever the hell is actually cool and good looking and, whatever, and would be posting things like, Vivian James or whatever the hell her name is. I don't fucking know what her deal is.
Oh yeah, Vivian James.
That video games girl from 4chan, whatever the fuck she's about.
Oh well, she was the she's like the face of Gamergate. She was like the icon.
Not the face of me though. She is not the face of me. My hair might be red, but it is not Vivian James. And I don't call people faggot. Thank you very much.
I do, but it's mainly Jim.
Well, that's fine. You can call people like I don't. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, we read a thing. Shane Mathis. The problem with metal is metalhead. Stop calling people faggot. And I sent it to my friend who happens to be gay. And his comment was, "That thing's gayer than I am."
Yeah, I got that from another gay dude. He even had it on, and I've sucked a lot of dick in my life.
I mean,
I was like, yeah.
Because most of these people in this subculture don't care. They will use the same words that other people are saying don't use. I have had gay people call me faggot before.
This is the point, though. If everybody on Twitter was forced by any rules whatsoever to have a female avatar for at least one day, some of them would be out there putting on Mary Turner, who is a 19-year-old black woman who was lynched while she was pregnant in 1918. And you would have some people who would be like, I'm just going to put on, Princess Peach from Mario.
I'd either go Jinx Dawson or I'd go fucking female zombie sexy fucking decaying corpse.
Now, my current Twitter profile is Hilda, who was a pinup artist's creation back in the 1950s. She is a fat pinup girl, and I'm perfectly cool with that.
That sounds kind of hot.
She is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Get hard data. Bring in psychologists to study online toxicity and to figure out how to reduce it. This has been a problem for decades, but there's been very little effort devoted to studying why it happens and how to ameliorate it.
Ameliorate.
Wow.
Jim has problems with words sometimes.
Wait. Jim, tell me about the memes.
Or wait, Jim, what's your favorite album?
I have been waiting for that for 2 months.
Oh, God.
What's your favorite album in the memes, Jim?
Oh, God.
Do you mean God or God?
You guys know I'm gonna own this the next time I actually meet Jim in person, right?
Oh, God, please get that on tape.
Probably for your own safety.
I know, right?
Nah, Jim. See, I don't think Jim's as strong as he used to be, so I wouldn't be afraid of him.
It's okay. I just like picking on him.
I don't think Jim's as strong as he used to, so I wouldn't be afraid of him.
Well, Jim likes to laugh at everything when I pick on him, so I keep picking on him.
See, I like that because you give him so much shit and he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you give me so much shit and I like it. And
Well, if he didn't like that shit, why would he let me do it?
why would he be on this show?
Dun, dun, dun. See, this is what I always see friendship as.
Well, people picking on you because they like you?
Yes, they pick on me, they call me a useless sack of shit. And it gives me that reality check, A. And B, I know I belong.
See, there's no reason why the four of us can't be an ultra successful radio team.
Oh my gosh, that is so important, the whole belonging thing right there, you know? People didn't believe in you or pick on you or make fun of you and totally try to destroy you, then they wouldn't care about you whatsoever.
If people try to destroy me and I said, no, you can try, I try to destroy myself.
That just means they actually think about you often enough to want to destroy you, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
So loving.
And meanwhile, back in my 20s, I attempted to destroy myself.
I tried
to party myself to death.
Yep.
Take myself to the limit and beyond. What's this? Mystery pills. Okay. Didn't know if it was heart medicine or not. Just grabbed a handful and drooled.
Yeah, I did that. I would still be doing it if Puke hadn't died, but my party days ended after that because the scene broke up.
I had kids.
I was never really a partier myself. I got stoned and drunk at once, and then I don't get the constitution for it. I really don't.
I've never woken up with a hangover, and that's not because I haven't drank.
But you would make an excellent designated driver because you would shit on us
No.
all.
I am. I'm a designated driver. I'm there. My sole purpose is to make you guys feel horrible for partying as much as you did. That's my entire job.
The one good thing about me being blind is I never have to worry about being the designated driver. Ever.
I do feel jealous sometimes of that, but at the same time, it's like, you fucking idiots.
That is the way to be.
No, my friend never drank. He was straight edge, but he wasn't like militant, and he would hang out with us drunks, and he'd be like, you're vomiting out the back of the window, you're vomiting out the back window again, Tony. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm having fun. He's like, yeah, you're not going to be having fun the next day. And I'd be like, fuck, I think my stomach just inverted itself. What did I do last night? I don't know. Oh, well, you're cleaning the vomit off my car. Fuck you.
Exactly. That's just like, if you're going to have power, why not abuse it? I mean, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, but it was kind of warranted because the shit we used to put him through was just... Jim told a great story about going to different orange juices while high, trying to get... I want to go to this one. I want to go to this one again. We used to do shit like that to him. So we tortured him.
When I asked Price if the harassment in virtual reality is more than just a game, she said it really gets really annoying. really trying to constantly prove that it's harmful.
Wait. You know what's also annoying? Being teabagged.
That would be kind of annoying, yes.
Well, it is annoying because that's basically saying, hey, I fucking killed you. Ha ha.
And what's really funny is whenever you
God.
see someone teabagging and then you get the perfect headshot lined up. Because they're so engrossed in their teabagging, they don't know that the crosshairs are aimed at the back of their skull.
So just boom.
It's
Honestly,
like boom, boom, boom.
They die with their pants down.
Has anyone ever teabagged me? My honest to God response was to go back and try harder.
That's the way it should be.
Like, seriously, God, okay, yeah, you teabagged me. Hooray, good for you. You know what? I'm gonna kill your fucking ass. Get the fuck over here, you fucking mass ass.
He died.
There we go.
He died with his balls out.
And the funny thing was, because I never really got that good at first-person shooters, I came up with devious ways to get around that.
Yeah, come over here, you fucking rocket whore. I'm
God,
gonna kill
yes.
your fucking ass.
What it was we would play James Bond GoldenEye 64.
I still never called nobody a faggot, though.
And we would... And what I would do whenever I got to choose the weapon is I would pick either the grenade launcher or the rocket launcher and pick some place like the stacks that had a lot of narrow corridors.
Well, you find a good place to hide, and then you wait.
No, what
You
happened
fucking
was...
camper.
Oh,
No,
camping
I
is a
was
perfectly
not-
legitimate strategy.
I was not camping. What I
No.
would do is I would walk out and lure people into an area that was tight. They would follow me in, and they'd have this firefight amongst themselves. I would aim the rocket launcher at the closest wall. Boom! -1 for the suicide, +3 kills equals a 2-point kill ratio. They were playing it like it was real life. Gotta stay alive. I was playing it like a game. I want points. So -1 +3, that's 2 every time.
This is the most dickish thing to do, though.
Oh,
I
well,
suicide bombed. I'd get the ranking of most deadly, most suicidal.
This is the most dickheadish thing to
when
do.
you play
though. I
games
love
like
it.
that, though, they are actually set up to be, won in that manner.
Yeah, I know, but that's just the most dickheadish. And of course, that's not an
I'm
insult.
gonna win. I'm gonna win. Boom!
Yeah,
God took us to hell with them.
I tell you what, my number one strategy for not getting killed in any first-person shooter game is to just keep moving. Just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't ever hide in a corner. Don't spawn camp. Don't do nothing. Yes, camping may be a legitimate strategy, but at the same time, when you're moving, people see you. And when people see you, they follow you. And when they follow you, you can turn around and shoot their fucking asses.
I just love the just. I'm sure your friends hated you, Jim.
Oh, yeah. But what was funny was whenever they get someone that was making a fucking huge deal because they were so much better than everyone else, let's get Jim in. Okay. Okay, we're doing this. Boom. You fucking cocksucking blah, 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 blah. You're not playing the game right. Yes, I am. I'm just winning. That's all.
Don't be jealous because I'm winning. I'm dead, but I'm winning.
I may be dead, and I will die 1,000,000 times more, but everyone's going to hell with me. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway.
The dirty secret is that there's a lot of they can do to stop harassment and be more inclusive toward women. They're already bending over backwards. How much... Do you want them licking your asshole clean every time you take a shit? Is that what you're asking here?
Wait. I have a problem with and it's the same definition that I have a problem with Trump here. Inclusive is including or covering all the services, facilities, or items normally expected or required. More should not be an adverb actually, applied to that. You're already including that.
How do you get more inclusive?
You don't get more inclusive. You already are inclusive.
Thank you. I was waiting for someone to pick up on that.
You need to defend the fact that you are inclusive and make people understand the fact that, hey, shit's gonna happen.
We're
deal with
inclusive,
it.
but we're gonna get more inclusive. It's like all animals are equal, just some animals are more equal than others.
And for that matter, you know what? If the females, the girls, or women, or what have you, do not want to play on that server, so be it. They don't have
Exactly. I don't force anyone to come on the show.
No.
I don't.
Nobody should have to do anything that they don't want to do.
Jim, damn it, you're coming on the show right now. But I'm
Well, okay, Jim, he's slave labor. We don't talk about Jim.
Well, there's also the fact that whenever I was younger, my buddy Jeff would hold people at fucking knife point just to hang out with me.
Exactly. Jim is slave labor. We don't talk about Jim.
Jim's the exception that proves the rule.
Yes.
Now, if you're going to socially chastise anybody in order to get on the show, it would be Chaz or that Eric kid that I can never quite catch.
For you.
I had issues. I have reasons for not
Yeah,
being
I know, but I'm still going to socially chastise you.
Well,
Damn.
you can socially
Meanwhile-
chastise me all you want. My brother was missing. Hey.
Meanwhile, apparently we all suffer from Stockholm syndrome.
And you really think that's going to, like, make me say sorry or something? That's cute.
We all suffer from Stockholm syndrome because we keep fucking and throwing insults at each other and bloody. I don't even give a shit. These people are morons.
Sometimes I wish my sister to go missing, but that's another story.
Well, I don't want my brother to go missing, obviously. And honestly, in my opinion, going missing is about the worst thing that could possibly happen because, hey, Elliot, I have children.
True. Although I actually did that for a while.
Hey, you might not care about other fucking people, but I do, motherfucker, so just deal with it.
I care about other people. I
Oh,
care about
yeah,
the voice,
right. Yeah,
I care
right.
about the voices in my head. I care about them.
The voices in your head are not legally represented as an entity state.
Who cares about Jinx Dawson?
Shut up. I care about
And
Jim.
whatever that fucking
I
tart's
care
name
about,
is who does the racing.
I care about Jim, and the reason I care about Jim is because if he goes missing, the show's going to go even more to shit.
That is a point. There you go. You
Plus-
understand what I mean.
Yeah, but what he's trying to say is he doesn't actually have emotional feelings for Jim. Jim is entirely utilitarian.
Utilitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I
the
am a
closest I'm going to
utility.
get, and he knows that.
Oh, Jim, how do you like that? You're a means to the end.
Yep.
At least you're useful to somebody.
I can remember. I can
You
remember.
fucking bitch, you.
I disappeared for about. I can remember I disappeared for about 4 months. In 2012. This is before any of you ever met me. I disappeared for 4 months, going through some.
There's
things
nothing
and-
wrong with going missing if you want to go missing.
No. The thing is, the only person that actually asked me, did my girlfriend message me or anything? Because I didn't have internet or whatever. And I went missing for 4 months, and I came back. The only person that actually asked where the hell I was my friend Bishop from England. He was the only one who cared enough to ask where I was. Nobody else asked.
Okay, well, were you on meth?
I was on anything but meth, actually.
Okay. Did everybody have your phone number or a way to actually message you?
No. In fact, my phone, I don't know
Yeah.
how to work my phone.
That is a big point. When people go missing, part of the problem is that nobody knows how to get a hold of you. Nobody knows if the phone number you used to have is, still adequate, or if you have changed.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, everyone had my phone number. The problem is I didn't have my phone.
Yeah. Well,
So, but
somebody going missing in my life is kind of a big deal for me. So
yeah, I know. No, yeah,
a couple of
I was just saying it was funny that the only one like Eric didn't ask where I was.
Well, that Eric kid hasn't even been on while I've been on, so I can't even tell you what I think about him.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's a dick. Yeah, the only one who asked was an online.
Every Eric I have met has been a dick. I'm married to a fucking Eric.
Well, who's a real dick is everyone. Everyone I met named Jim, actually.
Okay. You want to know what's funny? The last 2 people that I have dated in 2016 have been an Eric or James. The last 3 people that I had crush on were Erics. So I have a type.
A tight name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just thought it was so funny that the only one was Bishop asking, "Hey, where are you?" No one else was, and then everyone was like, "Oh wait, you were gone." I was like, "Oh," but that
My
was
brother
fun.
just dropped off the face of the earth after his freaking baby mama was doing meth, and he was all like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do," and acting like he was on fucking meth himself. And I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Yeah, Puke's friend did that, and we had to go find him.
Well, he's in Washington, and I am in Pennsylvania.
We had to fucking go up to San Francisco or some shit. It was.
I cannot do that.
Yeah, it was fucking scary though, because we were staying in squat hotels. I had to eat a bar of soap for dinner. No, I'm not kidding. I had to eat a bar of soap for dinner. Yeah,
And drink a bottle of your own piss. But anyway,
I think I
that
would
was
swallow air
hey,
first. I would
that
sit
was-
there and I would swallow air.
the piss thing was another story. Okay,
okay.
and that's something even I grossed out Jim with that story.
Yes, it was disgusting. But they won't because they're afraid of losing their male base, which is fear unsupported by any evidence that men will leave if they can't engage in harassment.
What?
Men believe if they can't engage in harassment.
Well, are you saying that
That's-
because women will pick on men that men won't say?
No, they're basically men because they can't engage in any harassment. They'll go, "Oh fuck this," and they'll leave. That's what they're saying.
I can't sexually harass women online, therefore I must leave this service. That's the way they think people think.
Well, last time I heard that was called sexual chastising, and that was perfectly okay. You know, because
Another thing is the fact that
boys do that to ladies all the time.
I just don't get their logic.
I don't get their logic either. If they can't engage in harassment, they will leave. What kind of mentality is that?
So when
Do they actually think that people sit there in a boardroom saying, well, we have to keep promoting this harassment so that way people stay? Even though it'll have lots of legal factors involved and governments coming down on us and all kinds of shit. And they don't even see the way they bend over backwards. I fucking just got a fucking Facebook ban because I fucking refused to fucking agree with someone's fucking politics.
Okay. There are, like 52% females? Or males, excuse me.
Something.
52% male, 50 or 48% female, yeah? Something like that. Yeah. That's just statistics. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, that's about half. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'll let you have that, 4% there. Yeah, that's fine. But you know what? I think that if feminists are truly and absolutely wanting to actually fight against what they perceive as a superiority complex by males, then hey, maybe we should just actually prove the fucking example rather than making it act like, we're bitches.
Because basically what this is saying is that I'm only online to harass women.
Yeah. And honestly, it seems like
that's not the only reason why I'm online.
Well, most of the feminists that are online seem like they're only online to defend females who are being harassed by males. Why not go out and actually, make a stand, put your opinions out, do everything? Now, I see this all the time, women actually putting their opinions out, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Problem is that you always get at least one anti-feminist on there who says something, and then, and this is the part that gets me, after the anti-feminist male says, oh, well, that's just you being a, feminist Nazi or whatever, the women immediately attack him.
Yeah, true. It's
instead of debating the point, they attack the person.
Yes, exactly. Like a juvenile.
Yep, exactly. And by the way, I'm going to start sending you, profane messages from now on.
What? Why?
Just as Just as a joke, obviously.
Point being, though, is that these women, they see this attack on feminism and they immediately attack him in the manner that a 13-year-old male would do when he gets attacked in school. And they start acting like juvenile asshats about it. And it's just like, what the fuck? Where did all the maturity in this conversation go?
A 13-year-old, well, the way I reacted when I was attacked in school is basically go limp and let the beating happen.
Well, sometimes that happens, but also sometimes it's like, oh, you dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck are you doing this shit? Oh, you're just an asshat. Oh, you're just a limp dick female hating asshole.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen that. You have no idea
stupid.
The names I've been called.
It is stupid. It is stupid and immature to act in that manner.
Yep.
Responding to a criticism with another childish insult is totally anti-feminist, and you should not do that because honestly, and I'm sure if you ask some feminazis, you're acting exactly the same as the mans want us to, and oh dear God, why?
And if you are a feminazi and would like to come debate us on the topic, you can. Because we are always open, as Jim knows, we are always open for debates.
Whoever wants to come and talk about it, it's perfectly fine.
Unfortunately, they won't because they're too cowardly.
I have seen way too many women act as if their personal opinion has been affronted and then totally take the immature option and act like they, like they can't act like a normal human adult being.
It's as if the whole thing I see is that you'll get these feminists that take any sort of questioning of what feminist ideas have been put out there as some sort of blasphemy, and then attempt to assert some sort of bullshit blasphemy law to it, where shun the disbeliever. Instead of trying to, rebut with facts.
Any woman believe in what you believe in, or not believe in what you believe in. It's almost as bad as fucking Trump versus Hillary.
Oh God. And
it really is.
Yeah, no, I know. I was agreeing with you, and I was saying that's a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all a question of how do you want your World War III? Do you want someone who's going to fucking go and attack an embassy in an allied nation just to kill one person who pissed her off sometime, or
and others will take his place.
Some clown that will fucking, say something wrong and have someone press the button against us first. Who's going to press the button first?
Yeah, that's why we're going to start our own country called Swine Brothers Nation. Swinia.
Yay.
Although, granted, with the title of the show and the logo, we might piss off a bunch of Muslims.
Yeah, well, we piss.
Yeah, but who
people
fucking
off.
cares?
And, in India, we're going to rename ourselves Cow Brothers.
Okay. I don't have a problem with Muslims, necessarily. But the kind of Muslims that get pissed off the fact that you're actually using a pig to describe yourself, those are the people you want to piss off. So, hey, fucking cares.
Oh, I have a problem with Muslims because they're people, and I fucking hate people. No,
I only care if it pisses you off, if it actually pisses you off, and then I'm like...
No, I was just thinking this the other day. I was like, wow, so it would be funny if some like Syrian Islamist, what is this, swine?
Hey man, most of the Muslims I've met have been like totally cool about, okay, I understand where you're coming from.
Yes. I have a Muslim who actually watches this show.
Yeah. So like I've totally not had any problem with Muslims other than the males tend to be a little bit more pushy, but
yes, but you know me, I'm an equal opportunity offender.
I understand how the Quran works, so I don't have a problem with that necessarily.
Yes, but you know me, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I mean, I not only did I make fun of Muslims, I made fun of people in India too, in that very same breath. So, you know.
We should be able to pick on anybody in any country, no matter whatsoever.
Fucking Pennsylvanians, bunch of rednecks from the north.
Well, if you talk to me, fucking Kentuckians, we had those in the war. You know what happened? They didn't fight.
Although, and they make shitty fried chicken too.
I'm sorry. I can fight you for that one.
I haven't wanted Kentucky Fried Chicken ever since I've seen all those commercials with the like 4 or 5 different Colonel Sanders, and it's just commercials are just horrible. Plus, Church's is better. Sorry.
I own Colonel Sanders' personal autobiography. It's called Life as I Have Known It Has Been Finger-Licking Good.
That's the strange thing about Colonel Sanders is he was a real person.
He's fucking great.
No, the strange thing with the Colonel Sanders mascots is he's a real person and he was alive during people's lifetimes. It's not like dressing up as George Washington. It's like, it'd be like if I dressed up as, Jim, after Jim died for 30 years. It's like, wait, but he's a real person. It's not like Ronald McDonald. So
it depends on whether or not Jim attains actual fame in his lifetime.
Infamy.
I mean, Colonel Sanders wasn't infamous until he became about 70, for that matter.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though, right? It's kind of like wearing a dead skin mask.
All joking aside, Colonel Sanders was a hell of a man, and he would totally beat an ass if he had to, and he almost killed a guy once. He might have actually killed a dude once, and I'm not going to fuck with Colonel Sanders. It's all cool.
No, but I'll fuck with the people who represent him.
Praise Harlan. That's all I'm saying.
We don't need more women to come forward with hellish tales of harassment in these spaces. We need online abuse to be met with a sense of urgency.
Urgency.
Virtual assault.
Like anything online is met with a sense of urgency.
Except for this show. No one watches it.
Nothing
But everyone
online
wants
is with them.
Yeah, but everyone wants it to be met with urgency because, oh my god, my feelings!
Well, everybody's problem is an absolute 100% issue to themselves.
What do you mean I hurt your feelings?
And in this time and age, everything should be fixed right here, right now, right now. And I tell you what, the only time I've ever actually experienced something get fixed was with HughesNet, which is an internet service.
You know what? It's still around, weirdly enough.
HughesNet has superb customer service. They have never, ever, ever let me down. I absolutely love HughesNet. Alternatively, EA Sports.
It's in the game.
As much as you might think that they are absolutely horrid, considering the internet rumors and the internet reputation they have, if you go online and you talk to the EA support team, they are super cool about a lot of things. So,
I didn't know. Wait, because I've only used Usenet to download shit.
Alright, let's put it this way. Okay, my Sims 2 game is so old that it has been the game registration code has been reassigned to a Spore game.
Oh, I miss Sims. I miss Sims 2.
I own all of the Sims 2 expansion packs except for Mansion and Gardens. When I contacted EA Sports, they told me that they could get me something called the EA Games Sims 2 Ultimate Edition, but I need to give them a registration code, serial code. Yeah. So I gave them the code from my original Sims 2 game, and they said, "Oh, that's registered to a Spore game," and I'm like, "What?" Because I was looking at that shit and I was like, no.
Wow.
That's pretty old. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
But I gave them the code for my Nightlife game and they gave me that stuff and I was like, oh, yay. Because Windows 10 won't run Sims 2, you motherfuckers.
You have to get an emulator.
You have to get a fucking downloadable version of the game and it fucking sucks.
You can get it on an emulator or some shit.
It's not the same.
Yeah, but it's close enough.
Anyways,
it's what you're gonna have to live with.
It pissed me off. That's all.
Yep,
It pissed me off. I paid over $80 for this fucking shit, and they wouldn't even let me have the damn game.
Yep. But unfortunately, I mean, at least we have something like an emulator because I thought all those games were just done. My friend is still gonna play Desert Bus one day live.
Yay. Anyways, virtual assault is not inevitable because of the medium of virtual reality. Virtual assault is inevitable because, ironically, the people creating virtual reality hardware, software, and platforms completely lack the ability to put themselves in anyone else's shoes.
Or it's because you just like to complain. That could be part of it. I mean, far be it for me to accuse you of just complaining for no reason, but You just like to complain.
Also, lack the ability to put themselves in anyone else's shoes as opposed to make a game that works. I mean, I don't see how these are two mutual. The first priority is to make the game work. Then, when problems occur, you solve them. And honestly, this fucking virtual assault thing's a non-issue, but first world problems, come on. So, the best thing to do is to blame everyone of being a narrow-minded bigot because they don't see this as a problem.
Yep, and that's why I don't even want to think. It's ugh. What is wrong with people?
I do not agree.
Honestly, it feels like this person doesn't understand online multiplayer at all.
No, they don't, and they'll never understand it because they're morons.
Well, no, it really feels like after the incident, if you will, they totally understand it.
Oh, God.
Just a matter of how much you want to put up with.
Yeah, true. And, you could always go solo or always find a different room or...
Well, that's another point. They did point out in the commentary that this person could log off, find somebody else to play with, or just play solo.
Or, Satan forbid, go outside, like...
Have a life.
Or for that matter, play any of the 1,500 other video games that are out there available, one player only, for people to play.
See, I know that's blasphemous coming from me. Go get out and get a life.
Yeah, like, for serious God, there are tons of video games
I know.
to play.
And they're non-virtual reality games.
I have played one virtual reality game, and I fucking sucked at it. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a long time before I actually get a chance to play that again. I won't regret it, and I won't miss it, because I have tons of other fucking video games to play.
Yep, and then you could also do role-playing, and yeah.
Or I could just sit down and write some fucking porn.
Or you could go on Swine Brothers and talk about porn.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You're part of the harassment crowd for offering that kind of fucking sentiment.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Because I'm not saying that women should totally not bow down to our male oppressive overlords.
You have yelled at me in 5 minutes. That's the new record.
Well, I'm not saying you're a male oppressive overlord, Elliot. You're about as useful as a paper bag.
Yeah, he is a bit of an intermention.
Wait a minute. I'm as useful as a paper bag? Hooray, I've been upgraded.
Yes, we can wipe our asses with it.
Thanks.
I can still rip you apart.
Yeah, but...
Seriously, God.
You
As far as
tried.
females go, people just react. They overreact too much.
Oh, you can't say react. It's now a trademark.
Overreact. You cannot overreact like that. If you're going to say, hey, I did not like this thing, that's fine. But if you're going to be like, oh, God, this gave me a sexual assault, that's bad.
Yeah, I know. And we're trying to combat it with this show.
If you had a sexual assault in your past, yes, I understand. I know where you're coming from. I'm not trying to be rude to you or anything. But, look, the only way females are going to move forward with anything at all is to basically just show that we can fucking take it.
Yeah, and not just do the whole, we need to soften it up. Just go.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I've
soften everything up so that way whenever we're confronted with Saudi Arabia sentencing man to 10 years in jail and 2,000 lashes for being an atheist, we can actually see, well, there's a problem with that and being fucking groped in a video game where you don't even see genitals or anything is idiotic.
In a book, in an actual physical fiction book, where somebody was actually torn apart or ripped apart or horrifically mutated, people didn't fucking flip their shit.
No, I went, cool.
But in a video game, they do.
Well, I think it's because in a book, you don't see it. because people have no imaginations these days. Now, I can see in my head. I was reading a horror book, and I could see the woman being torn apart and the fetus being ripped out of her and thrown in the fire. I could see that in my head.
Honestly, I don't
was a-
believe that. I don't want to believe that because honestly, I see these things when I read books, when I read stories online.
No, I do, and you do, but most people don't, unfortunately. They just kind of see it as words. But if they see it on TV or on a video game, oh my god, it's so much different. Whereas, like I said, though I'm blind, if you describe it well enough, I'll see the intestines coming out of the stomach, and I'll go, But most people, unfortunately, I don't know if they can't. They don't want to because it takes more brain power.
You know, I'm not assuming that censorship hasn't been a thing in regular fiction, because it has. There have been people who have tried to censor all manner of books, including Anne Frank's diary, according to the version I haven't read, actually.
I think the Daughters of the American Revolution didn't want to.
Well, Anne Frank's diary is supposed to include some very explicit parts where she actually learns about her own body.
Well, they didn't want the Anne Frank's diary to be read in school, which I actually know why. It's too depressing.
Oh, it's not even that. I mean, for fuck's sake, I read the whole book, and I know, or at least the book I was presented, I should say, and I know that they actually pointed out that, yeah, she died and all this whatnot and everything that happened to her in the end. This problem was based on the fact that they decided to uncensor the actual censored version that we had all been exposed to by back in the day. And this version had Anne putting in tons of information about her being a teenager, growing up in war-torn Germany, learning that, hey, I'm a girl, I have a clitoris, hey, what's that about? And stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my god, really?
Well, I've read it, and I didn't think anything of it, because, yeah, that's how people think. This is just another teenage thing. Hey, look, you're going to try to masturbate during war-torn Germany.
Right, who in the hell in their right mind is going to masturbate to that shit?
You'd be surprised. I've seen, why were there babies born during, like, slavery and shit like that?
There are two things in life that are constant, one of which is death, and one of which is sex. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those things.
But so that's why, really quick before Jim goes to the story, so that's why it takes more brain power to use
not censor things.
No, to see things in a book, to have pictures painted on your brain.
Actually, it's been about 3 hours.
Do you want to get into the Heaven's Gate story really quick?
Yeah, we'll do the Heaven's Gate story.
And we'll do the atheist thing later.
Yeah.
We've only gone through 2 stories, but the conversation's been amazing.
Anyways, moving on. For some fun after that headache.
Yes.
Let's censor everything because it makes me uncomfortable. A suicide cult surviving members still maintain its 90s website.
And Jim has a great story about this cult.
Are they censoring it so that we don't know or do know not to go near it?
We'll find out.
The mass suicide members of UFO cult Heaven's Gate is one of the most bizarre and enduringly fascinating events of the 90s. I was accused of being one of the leaders. My friends actually saw me as someone that would say, follow this spaceship and make millions fall off the roof.
See, I'm not sure Jim would ever be the leader, because I believe the leader was voluntarily castrated.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Well, it depends on what you mean by castrated.
He has his balls cut off.
Oh.
Because he didn't believe in sex or any of that shit. And several of the members, including the leader, went to Mexico and were castrated.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Jim definitely wouldn't do that.
Yes, I would not.
Does he have... Never mind.
Do my balls hang low? Do they waggle to and fro? Do they slap an ass when I'm banging a hoe? Do they hit the toilet water when I really have to go? Do my balls hang low?
I'm sorry, I created a fucking monster.
God love those Confederates.
But nearly 20 years after the strange deaths, part of the cult's legacy lives on via its perfectly preserved retro website, loyally maintained by 2 surviving members. They'll even answer to your questions via email.
Really?
A cool documentary on Heaven's Gate.
How
Oh,
hasn't somebody taken advantage of that by now?
We should get an interview with one of the members on this show. Jim, set it
That
up.
seems like documentary central right there. That seems like somebody should just go and take advantage of that right away.
Jim, you're better at communicating than I am. Try and set this up.
Okay.
How is that even a thing, I wonder?
Dude, if we actually get a Heaven's Gate member on the show,
You guys would be picking on him, and I would be like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay."
No, we wouldn't be picking on. We'll be asking like, so how did they kill themselves?
Yeah, and they would consider that picking on them because that's how people who are in a fragile state of mind do, dude.
Well, fuck, we interviewed Ryan from Intestinal Discord. We pretty much talked about shit because his first album was called Bench.
I don't think they'd even want to be on the show because the way we are.
True, I mean, Ryan.
They're all about peace, love, and hippie shit, actually. The
Cult
survivors.
people want to be treated with kid gloves.
True, and that's why Ryan was cool, because he was just as fucked up as we are. We need to have him back, I think.
It's really hard to convince somebody to come on a show where they know they're going to be torn apart like rabid wolves.
Well, like I said, we need Ryan back because he is. I want to do a thing on the underground.
On March 26, 1997, San Diego police discovered the bodies of 39 members of a then obscure cult, all of them whom had committed suicide. The members of Heaven's Gate, which had existed since the 70s, believed that they were exiting their earthly bodies to board a UFO that was hiding behind the Hale-Bopp comet as it made its closest approach to Earth.
Hale-Bopp sounds like some sort of jazz musician. Oh yeah, I'm Hale-Bopp.
Heaven's Gate had a telltale style. They wore matching black trousers, black Nike decades, and covered their bodies with purple shrouds. To take their lives, they ate applesauce spiked with a lethal dose of phenbarbital. Well,
at least it wasn't fucking Flavor Aid. So Jim Jones was such a cheapskate. He didn't even see. What I would do is, if I was gonna make them commit suicide, I would at least splurge a little bit on the last meal or whatever. You know, give him some nice cheese or some shit. No, he got the cheapo Kool-Aid knockoff and said, "Here, drink this."
Well, didn't you say that Jonestown uses the Flavor Aid?
Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
Then they washed it down with vodka and suffocated themselves with plastic bags.
Woo! That sounds like a party.
But these 39 members, hoping to hitch a ride to the next plane of existence they call the next level, weren't the totality of Heaven's Gate. A small handful of members survived. 2 would kill themselves in the year that followed, but 2 others had an important task assigned to them by the cult: preserve the Heaven's Gate digital legacy.
So, we kill ourselves, man. You need to be in charge of our shitty website.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's awesome.
By all accounts, the administrators behind HeavensGate.com are a couple named Mark and Sarah King, though they would not confirm their identity when I emailed this last week.
We have to have a link to the website in the description of this.
Yeah. Via email, the couple told me they were entrusted with the task after being members of the group for 12 years. They have regular full-time jobs outside of tending the site, but take their duties seriously. They answer any inquirer's questions within a day or so, and make sure the site, crammed with information about the cult's beliefs and with a strikingly 90s aesthetic, ticking along exactly as it was in March 1997.
Wonder if he castrated himself.
I do not know. We do this to make the information available to those who are interested in learning about it, the administrators wrote. In a way, it's like planting seeds into the future so people can get familiar with the ways of the next level and prepare for an eventual return.
That's why I want to make a website all about anti-cosmic Satanism, but, you know.
The site provides lengthy explanations of the cult's beliefs, a warning against suicide, other than in their very specific situation.
Yeah, I was going to say that John from Dissection actually was against suicide, except for if you do it by your, except for if you do it at your highest level. Kind of like a G.G. Allen thing. G.G. Allen always said that if you want to commit suicide, do it at your highest level when you've achieved everything you want to achieve.
Heaven's Gate sees it as a futile act, and eerie exit statements from some of the members who killed themselves.
I'm gonna die, motherfucker. That is a cool thing. We'll have a link to the site so you can go visit it.
It's a fairly fitting legacy considering the cult had earned money through the 90s through a web design company, which is detailed in this motherboard story from 2014, linked in the article. Also, but what's the purpose? Marshall Applewhite, the founder of Heaven's Gate and one of the members who killed himself in 97, had predicted that the Earth would be recycled shortly after the cult members' deaths. Looking at this presidential election, he might not have been wrong.
Yeah, a little bit more than shortly afterwards, but 20 years, give or take.
And this was the last chance to exit to the next level.
A new level of confidence. Oh, God, fuck man.
And suicide. If the mass suicide was the last chance to depart Earth, why force two believers to stay behind and preserve information for a planet full of hopeless beings? The admins simply told me that they stayed behind because they were asked to, but in an interview with Reddit's blog, upvoted last year, they went into a little more detail explaining that those on the next level will return at some point, and anyone on Earth who is already or may have an opportunity to join them. From suicide.
You're drinking the applesauce.
Yeah. I asked the admins if they resented this task at all, being left behind to play caretaker to a forgotten corner of the internet, missing their chance to evolve to this next level.
Heaven's Gate's not forgotten. Heaven's Gate's not forgotten. Hey, if you're into weird cults like I am, it's very well remembered.
Yes, and my friends still joke about it to me this day, saying I should have headed the cult.
Yeah, but like I said, I can't see you castrating yourself.
They told me, well, that's because they didn't know about the whole entire no sex thing.
Exactly.
They just knew people committing suicide.
Exactly.
They told me they weren't resentful at all. We didn't have any of those feelings. That would be a very human response, they wrote. Don't worry, we will be taken care of.
Oh, yeah, because they see themselves as not human. And, of course, that means they're completely in the fucking cult.
Yeah.
We really want to kill ourselves. Oh, you can't. Oh, okay, we're fine.
Anyways, that should be it then.
That should be it, because we've only covered 3 stories, but the conversation's been outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me just find the fucking page. So, this has been the
Swine Brothers Show for episode 121 on the 31st of October 2016.
Okay.
I've been your host, Elliot Lindemood. You can contact the show.
Mute him. This has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 121 for the 31st of October 2016. You can contact the show by emailing us at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com.
Or ellinthemood@gmail.com.
This is Chaz's last show. He's fired after this. For Danamund, who's yelled at all of us because, she left because she's too cool to stay. For Eric, who was here for 5 seconds. For the interrupter and the now fired Charles Almighty.
I'll be back.
And the Jim, our resident newsreader and producer. How many cigarettes have you had, by the way?
13.
Holy fuck. It's a new record. It's a new cigarette record. I have been Elliot in the mood so long, and we'll see you Friday.
Chicks with guns shoved up their crotches masturbating. Gotta love it.